Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this lengthy video we are going to create an end-to-end medical recommendation system, or you can say medicine recommendation system, using machine learning and Python. So this is quite interesting project, and you can use it as a FIP project. So this is the interface or our project. We will do a lot of things in this project. We will also create this amazing website. Now here we have a lot of section. If you click on contact, then you will be redirected to contact section. There is a developer section, there is a blog section as well. Okay, we will see all these things, but currently we are at home. Now in home we have a simple form. Here you can type any patient symptoms, like the patient has coughing और itching, तो आप यहाँ पे different उसके symptoms दिखा सकते हो, right? Now let me before showing the output and all the result, as you can see, these are the result. Okay, these are the result. Let me show you the entire working process of this project. So I have open let me show you. Okay, so what we will have, we will have this search bar. Okay, in this search bar you will type any patient or any user symptoms, like the patient has itching and coughing, sleeping and aching. This input will go to our model, our AI machine learning trained model. This model will predict disease for all these symptoms. Let's say the disease is impetigo. Okay, this is the disease जो हमारे मॉडल ने predict किया है in symptoms के according. So after that, this model will compare this disease with a database. Now in database we have a lot of tables, like medication tables, precaution tables, workout tables, diet tables, description tables. Each table contain a lot of information about a lot of disease, but it will only take those medication, those precaution, those workout, those diet, those description that are relevant to the predicted disease. Once we get all these, then we will display all these results to our user, like the predicted disease name, the description of that predicted disease, like impetigo is a highly contagious skin infection causing red sores that can break open. Okay, also we have precaution like soak affected area in warm water. These are precaution. So this entire system works like a doctor. Okay, when you go to doctor, you show all your symptoms, and doctor will recommend you precaution that you don't need to eat these things, or you have to take care of that things, like remove scabs with wet compressed cloth, consult doctor. Okay, so he will also give you precaution. So our system do the same. Apart from that, the doctor will also recommend you medicine related to your disease, related to your symptoms. Okay, so our recommendation system also recommend medication or medicine. Okay, so for that particular disease, the recommended medication will be topical antibiotics, oral antibiotics, antiseptics and warm compresses, right? And also we have workout, like maintain good hygiene, stay hydrated, consume nutrient rich foods, avoid scratching. And also we have diet, that you have to eat diet related to this specific disease, and you have to eat antibiotics treatment. Fruits and vegetables are recommended as a diet for this particular disease. Hydration. Okay, so this system will predict these things: description, precaution, medication, workout for each disease, whatever the disease. On the basis of the patient or model predict, it will get from database all these things. So let me show you the output. So yeah, so here in this select symptoms search bar, you can type your symptoms or patient symptoms. So let's say I have a patient, let's say I am the patient, and I am using this AI based medical recommendation system, and I have itching. Okay, and I have skin rash, some kind of symptoms, and I have cough is nothing but like okay. So the moment I click on this button, but first let me reload so that I can show you all the things again. Go back like this. First time when you load this website, it will be looks like this. Now here I have put it all my symptoms, and I'll click the predict button, and it will pop all these buttons like our AI system result. First, if you want to just see the predicted disease, then click on this disease button. Here you will see fungal infection. We will create these things from scratch. Okay, Now if you want to see the description of that predicted disease, so it says that fungal infection, that is the predicted disease, is a common skin condition. Definitely, because I have clearly told that I have coughing, I have skin rash, and I think there was another itching. So itching and skin rash are related to skin condition caused by fungi. Okay. And you can also see the precautions, like the doctor told that you need to bath, you need to take Dettol. Definitely our AI system recommend the same thing, like you have to take bath twice in a day, you have to use Dettol or neem in bathing water, and keep infected area dry, and use clean clothes. Definitely these are quite great. So also, if you want to check the medication, the recommended medication, so these are the recommended medication for the predicted disease. Antifungal cream, definitely it's right, and fluconazole, tryptophan, and clotrimazole. So these are all the recommended disease for that specific predicted disease. Okay, now let's check the workouts. Here you can clearly see the workouts that avoid sugary foods, consume probiotics, increase intake of garlic, इंक्लूड योगर्ट. सो बिल्कुल ये सिस्टम बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से काम कर रहा है. जिस तरह डॉक्टर प्रिकॉशन, डिस्क्रिप्शन, मेडिकेशन रिकमेंड करके देता है, आर सिस्टम डूइंग द सेम. ओके, आल्सो लेट्स चेक द डाइट. So yeah, these are the diets that eat garlic, coconut oil, turmeric, all these things. Let me show you another patient symptoms I have already. You can try a lot of symptoms. Okay, just let me copy this by Control C and let me paste it right here. So this is another patient who has symptoms like vomiting like okay, and burning micturition or whatever it is. Sometimes medical names are very difficult to pronounce, to be honest. And there is another symptoms, spotting, urination. So these are the symptoms. Let's see what our model said. So our model predicted, let's see the disease. So the disease is drug reaction, that on the basis of all the symptoms that you have, our system shows the patient that you have drug reaction. Let's check the description. A drug reaction occurs when the body reacts adversely to a medication. Perfect. So let's see the precaution. Stop irritation. Amazing. Consult nearest hospital. Good. Stop taking drug. Well done. Follow. So it's working quite good. The same like doctor. And I think it's more perfect than doctor, to be honest. Medication. So anti-this whatever it is, I don't know how to pronounce these names, but all these are true because I have searched about it. Antibiotics, antifungal cream, again he recommended that one. So let's see the workouts. Discontinue offending medication, stay hydrated, include anti-inflammatory foods. Quite good. These are all the exact workouts. Consume antioxidants, avoid trigger foods, include omega-3 fatty, and eat balanced diet, etc. Let's check the diet. So in diet it says that you need to diet antihistamine and omega-3 rich foods, vitamin C rich foods, quercetin rich foods, and probiotics. So yeah, this is the system and this is the entire flow. Now what we will do, first of all, we will get the data that we will be using to train an AI model. Now let me show you the data, that how it looks like, then we will start the coding part. So yeah, this is the data. I've just take a subset of my data. The name of my data is training data. I'll share all the data set, the database data set in the below description. All this code we are going to share with you. Now in this data we have a lot of columns. Total we have 133 columns, but for simplicity I have taken couple of columns. All the other columns, all the 132 columns are input columns, and the last column, that is called prognosis. Prognosis is nothing but the diseases, actually, is our target column. So here it is a supervised learning problem. Now if it is a supervised learning problem, then because we know that in supervised learning problem we have two types of problem, regression problem and classification problem. So what it is, It is actually classification problem. Why? Because in prognosis, in the last target column, we have multiple diseases. I think 144. I'll show in notebook all these things, right? But we have 41 diseases like fungal infection, flow, diabetes, and a lot of other diseases. So it is a multi classification problem. Now, normally you have heard, if you are a beginner, that in classification we have two problems like yes and no, um, uh, real or fake, 0 and 1, but this is a multi classification problem. So all the other 132 columns will be input columns, and the last target column, that is prognosis, will be our output column. Now keep in mind that prognosis, that the target column contain 41 diseases. Okay, these are our target column. Now all the others are actually, all the other 132 columns are input columns. Now in input columns we have actually the symptoms. So actually in this data set we are using 132 symptoms. The first column is itching, second skin rash, third modern skin eruption, continuous itching, shivering, chills. All these are the symptoms, but total we have 132. I couldn't show all because you'll not be able to understand things. Now what are these values 0 1? What are these binary values? So actually each column has a lot of records. These are patient records. This 0 1 1 0 0 1, this is a single patient record. This is another single patient record. So each row represents a single patient record. Now in each row we see that if there is a 0, it's mean that this patient has itching, no itching. 0 means off. But if in the same row, in the same record, if there is a 1, it's mean that in this column the skin rash is a symptom that he has. So 1 mean that that patient will have that specific symptoms. If there is a 0, then it's mean that this patient has no that specific symptoms. Let me make it easy for you. As I told that 0 will be off, 1 will be on. Now this is the first record. This entire record represent 132 symptoms for single patient. Single row, single patient has 132 columns, means 132 records. Each record has a value either 1 or 0. If 1, it's mean that that specific column is, or the symptom is, belongs to that patient. Now this is the patient. Let's say this is my record. I am the patient of this record. So it's mean that I don't have itching symptoms, but I have skin rash. So here it was a 1. Oops. Just give me a second. Here I have 1. So 1 means on, means skin rash. So it's mean that I have skin rash. Again, there was a 1, so I have model skin eruption, but all the other was off, so I don't have. This is another patient record. Let's say this is Noman, and Noman is a person or patient. So it's mean that Noman has a itching. So he has itching, but he don't have skin rash because it was off. So I hope you get the idea of data set. Now let's start the real working of this entire project. सो मैंने नोटबुक ओपन किया है. अब हम क्या करेंगे, स्टेप बाय स्टेप सारा का सारा कोड यहाँ पे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू लोड द डेटा सेट एंड टूल्स मतलब लाइब्रेरी. सो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू इंपोर्ट pandas as pd, then let's load the data set. So let me give it a name by df. So आप क्या करते हो, csv का यहाँ पे यूज़ करता हूँ. Now let me show you that all my data set are within this data set folder. Okay, and we are going to work on this training.csv data. Okay, training.csv data I have explained. Okay, now within data set I have a folder data set, and within that I have a csv file, actually the data, that is training csv. So this is my data. Okay, now let me add couple of cells. उसके बाद मैं क्या करता हूँ, let me show you the data. So by saying this, now this is the data. Okay, now in this data, as I have already explained, there are a lot of columns. Each column represent a symptom. यानी यहाँ पे itching एक symptom है, skin rash एक symptom है, model skin eruptions एक symptoms है, and we have their output column prognosis, जिसमें हर रिकॉर्ड, दिस इज एक इंटायर रिकॉर्ड, उसके लिए एक डिजीज है, जो कि है फंगल इन्फेक्शन. ये एक और पर्सन का रिकॉर्ड है विद सिम्टम्स, उसके लिए द सेम डिजीज. and we have other disease as well. So actually this is multi-class classification problem. Okay, let me show you the shape of the data. df.shape, oops, actually it should be like this. So we have 4920 records with 133 columns. So यहाँ पे मतलब हमारे पास 4920 सिम्टम्स के रिकॉर्ड्स हैं और हर रिकॉर्ड रिप्रेजेंट करता है 133 सिम्टम्स. ओके, 132 सिम्टम्स और 33 यहाँ पे आउटपुट कॉलम है प्रोग्नोसिस जो कि डिजीज है. इफ आई गो टू df.prognosis और उसका मैं यहाँ पे यूनिक वैल्यू निकलवाऊँ, देन दिस आर द, और उसका मैं लेंथ निकलवाऊँ. अगर मैं जस्ट लेंथ अभी दिखाऊँ लाइक दिस. सो टोटल वी है 41 यूनिक. टोटल रिकॉर्ड यहाँ पे 4920 हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे डुप्लीकेटेड रिकॉर्ड्स भी है. यहाँ पे डुप्लीकेटेड इन द सेंस कि डिजीज के नाम डुप्लीकेटेड है, अदरवाइज उनके सिम्टम्स डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं. बट टोटल वी हैव यूनिक 41 डिजीजेस. ओके, सो अगर आप जस्ट नेम देखना चाहते हो, लाइक अगर मैं यहाँ से लेंथ को हटाओ, देन यू वुड सी के वी हैव दिस डिजीजेस. ओके ओके, फंगल इन्फेक्शन, एलर्जी, कर्ड, chronic cholestasis, drug reaction, reptic ulcer, disease, AIDS, diabetes, all these. Okay, now the data is already pre-processed. As already mentioned, the data is already pre-processed. We don't have any missing value. We don't need to do some other things. We have to do only one thing, encoding for this prognosis, because इसके अंदर 41 डिजीज है और हमने उनको नंबर्स देने होंगे, because machine works on numbers not on string values. Okay, so all the other columns, all these symptoms are input columns and this is our target Y column. Okay, so let's perform trend test split. Let me add couple of cells. Okay, now in trend test split, first we need to import from sklearn library. We need to import model selection. Let me tab so that it could suggest, but it's not suggesting. I don't know why. Okay, it suggests selection, import trend test split. Now trend test split is used to help you divide or split your data into multiple variables or sets you want. Okay, we will see that a bit later. But let me import from like this, from sklearn pre-processing, because as I already mentioned that we have to encode the output column prognosis. So for that we will be using label encoder. So we will see that a bit later, but these are the imports. Okay, now first we need to divide our data into X and Y. So all the input columns will go into X. That was 132 except the last one, and the last one column, the output or the target column, will go into Y. So what I can do, I can simply say that my df dot drop actually let me give a proper name to my data set. It would be perfect. Okay, like this, for it's just for better representation. Data set, yeah, like this, data set shape, and this should be also data set like this. Okay, now here what I'll do, I'll simply drop from my data set the last one column, that is prognosis. Prognosis is actually represent the diseases. Prognosis. Now here you have to mention the x's. You want to drop it on row wise or column wise. तो मैं यहाँ पे कहता हूँ कि मुझे इसको column wise delete करना है. If you want to drop row wise, then you have to give it here 0, but I want column wise, so we'll have to give 1. So होगा क्या, यहाँ पे x को सारे के सारे input column चले जाएंगे except this one, because हमने इसको drop किया, and the output column, that is prognosis, will be go into Y, right? Okay, let me show you. This is the X. Now here if I go to last part, now here we don't have any last column because वो हमने drop किया. So these are the all input column that has been stored into X, and in Y you will see only the output column, right? Let's do trend test split. So in my trend function I'll simply pass X and Y with the test size. Now test size हम क्यों देते हैं, I'll mention a bit later, but let me pass random stat like 20. So होगा क्या, but first let me define couple of variable xtren, उसके बाद अपना xtest, ytren and ytest like this. So what will happen, this trend test split will split this data set into 4 set: xtrend, xtest, ytrend, ytest. What it will do, this trend test split function will take all the input values, all the input variables values, that was 400 or 4900 I think. So 4900 में से 70% डेटा, टेस्ट साइज इज 0.3, मीन्स अगर हमारा इंटायर डेटा 100% है, सो इट विल टेक फ्रॉम 100% डेटा 70% डेटा इनटू एक्सटेंड, बट कीप इन माइंड फ्रॉम एक्स नॉट फ्रॉम वाई. सो एक्स से 70% डेटा जाएगा एक्सटेंड में, एंड द रिमेनिंग 30% डेटा, टोटल इट वाज 100. वी स्प्लिट test size, we keep test size 30, so test size will be 30. It was just for x. Now it will do the same for y. From output variable prognosis, it will take 70% data into y trend and remaining 30 into y test. So what we will do, we will train couple of models from x trend, that is 70% data from input columns, and 70% data from prognosis, that is output column, and the remaining 30 from input column and 30 from output column we will test our model, so to see our model's result. Okay, so if I show the shape, this is xtrend dot shape and this is xtest dot shape, और यहाँ पे अगर मैं आपको y trend का शेप दिखाऊँ और y test का शेप दिखाऊँ, you will see total if I keep all this, so it will become actually we have shape, what was the shape, 4920, yeah, so 3444 एक्सट्रेन में आ गया इनपुट कॉलम से, एंड 1400 आ गया एक्स टेस्ट में. सो आप खुद सोचो, अगर ये टोटल 4900 है तो देखिए आपका 70% बनता है और ये आपका 30% बनता है. द सेम थिंग गोज विद वाई ट्रेन एंड वाई टेस्ट. परफेक्ट, अमेजिंग. लेकिन इससे पहले मैं काम करता हूँ, अगर मैं आपको वाई दिखाऊँ, अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपको वाई दिखाऊँ, ये देखो, ये एक्चुअली स्ट्रिंग है, मैं इसको एक नंपाई एरे में कन्वर्ट करना चाहता हूँ, और नंपाई एरे में कन्वर्ट करते वक्त मैं इसको लेबल इनकोड भी करना चाहता हूँ. लेबल इनकोड कि जहाँ जहाँ पे फंगल इन्फेक्शन होगा वहाँ पे कोई स्ट्रिंग वैल्यू, इंटीजर वैल्यू होगा. ओके, जहाँ जहाँ पे ये वैल्यू होगा वहाँ पे कोई इंटीजर वैल्यू होगा, बिकॉज मशीन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग. सो लेट्स अपडेट दैट. इसके लिए मुझे क्या करना होगा, अपना जो लेबल इनकोडर है उसका मैं एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनाऊंगा. सो दिस इज माय लेबल इनकोडर, एंड लेबल इनकोडर से फिट एंड या एक्चुअली मैं इससे ट्रांसफॉर्म करता हूँ, बल्कि पहले मैं इसमें फिट करता हूँ किसको, वाई को, और फिट करने के बाद अब मैं इसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करता हूँ. लेबल इनकोडर डॉट जस्ट ट्रांसफॉर्म किसको, अपने वाई को, और इसको स्टोर कर दो एक कैपिटल Y में. ठीक है, अब अगर मैं दिखाऊँ, अब ये Y कुछ अलग होगा. ये जो कैपिटल Y है ये इसमें 15. अब ये जो एक लिस्ट है, इस लिस्ट के अंदर बहुत सारे इंटीजर वैल्यूज़ हैं. जहाँ जहाँ पे फंगल, लेट मी शो यू इस वाला Y. अब देखो फंगल 15 को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, फिर फंगल को मिला 15, and the same thing goes for all the other infections. So actually what we have done, just we encoded the string to integer. Perfect. अब यहाँ पे मुझे इसको भी अपडेट करना होगा ट्रेंड टेस्ट अपडेट करते वक्त, ताकि हमारा सारा काम हो जाए. परफेक्ट. ओके, ग्रेट. नाउ लेट्स ट्रेन टॉप 5 मॉडल्स. मैं 5 क्लासिफिकेशन के, मल्टी क्लासिफिकेशन के एल्गोरिथम को ट्रेन करूँगा, और जिसका भी रिज़ल्ट अच्छा होगा हम उसको सेलेक्ट करेंगे. सो लेट्स डू दैट. अब इसके लिए मुझे करनी होगी इंपोर्ट्स इन द सेंस के यहाँ पे मुझे एल्गोरिथम्स को इंपोर्ट करना होगा. सो फ्रॉम sklearn import make a classification, actually it's optional, इसको आप from sklearn.dataset datasets import make classification, it should be classification, yeah, and from sklearn dot model selection एक्चुअली सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीन से मैं इंपोर्ट करता हूँ पहला एल्गोरिदम, दैट इज सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर। ठीक है, ये हमने पहला एल्गोरिदम इंपोर्ट किया। उसके बाद फ्रॉम sklearn डॉट ensemble मॉडल से इंपोर्ट करता हूँ दो मॉडल, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासीफायर और ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग क्लासीफायर। ये जितने भी इंजेंबल वाले मॉडल्स हैं ये बहुत ही बढ़िया रिजल्ट देते हैं। सो ये दो एल्गोरिदम मैं अभी के लिए इंजेंबल से यूज़ करूँगा। ठीक है, ये मुझे सजेस्ट नहीं कर रहा, आ जा भाई ग्रेडियंट। ओके, ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग क्लासीफायर नॉट रिग्रेसर। ओके, सो अभी के लिए मैंने सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर SVM से इंपोर्ट किया है। इंजेंबल मॉडल से मैंने अभी के लिए दो एल्गोरिदम इंपोर्ट किया है, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासीफायर एंड ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग क्लासीफायर। ओके, लेट्स इंपोर्ट नेबर से के नेबर्स क्लासीफायर। सो फ्रॉम sklearn डॉट नेबर क्लास से आपने इंपोर्ट करना है के नियरेस्ट नेबर, के नेबर्स क्लासीफायर। ठीक है, और अब हम एक क्यों ना अपना जो बहुत ही फेमस स्टैटिस्टिक वाले मॉडल्स हैं जिसका नाम है नेव बेस। सो मैं नेव बेस कि जितने भी कैटेगरीज वाले एल्गोरिदम है जिसमें स्पेशली हम यूज़ करते हैं मल्टी, इट शुड बी मल्टीनोमियल नेव बेस, हम ये यूज़ करेंगे। सो एक्चुअली मैं डिफरेंट क्लासेस से डिफरेंट एल्गोरिदम को यहाँ पे यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, और इन सब मॉडल्स की एक्यूरेसी चेक करने के लिए हमको sklearn के अंदर जाना होगा और उसके जो मैट्रिसेस वाला क्लास है उससे इंपोर्ट करना होगा दो चीज़ें, एक्यूरेसी स्कोर जिसे हम हर मॉडल का स्कोर देखेंगे, और कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स के हमारे मॉडल ने कितने पंगे लिए हैं, पंगे इन द सेंस के गलतियाँ कितने किए हैं और सही कितना प्रेडिक्ट किया है, वो कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स करता है। और सारे साथ मुझे चाहिए numpy लाइब्रेरी भी एज np। परफेक्ट, अमेजिंग, ये तो अपना सारा हो गया इंपोर्ट। अब देखना अगर मैं इनको अलग अलग ट्रेन करूँ तो मेरा बहुत सारा टाइम ज़ाया होगा ऑनेस्टली। तो मैं क्या करूँगा, एक डिक्शनरी बनाऊंगा जिसमें मैं डिफाइन करूँगा इन तमाम मॉडल्स को, ये मेरे काम को आसान कर देगा। सो क्रिएट अ डिक्शनरी टू स्टोर मॉडल्स, और इसको मैं नाम देता हूँ मॉडल्स। अब डिक्शनरी ऑफ इस तरह बनाते हूँ। अब डिक्शनरी में एक होता है की, एक होता है वैल्यू। तो की होगा अपना मॉडल का नेम और वैल्यू में मैं डालूंगा हर मॉडल। तो पहला है सपोर्ट वेक्टर, और इसमें मैं कर्नल रखूंगा लीनियर, क्योंकि सपोर्ट वेक्टर के दो टाइप्स हैं, एक है लीनियर सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लास मशीन्स एल्गोरिदम और एक है नॉन लीनियर। अब ये जो डेटा है ये मोस्टली लीनियर है, सो मैं यहाँ पे कर्नल रखूंगा, अरे भाई जस्ट 1 मिनट, कर्नल रखूंगा लीनियर। ठीक है, दूसरा है अपना रैंडम फॉरेस्ट। सो फॉर रैंडम फॉरेस्ट मैं वैल्यू दूंगा रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासीफायर। अब रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासीफायर के अंदर आप देते हो नंबर ऑफ एस्टिमेटर्स, मैं 100 रखता हूँ अभी के लिए। आई होप कि आप लोगों को ये मॉडल्स आते होंगी। ठीक है, क्योंकि ये ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि अगर मैं ये हर चीज़ एक्सप्लेन करूँगा तो हर वीडियो बहुत लंबी हो जाएगी, बट मैं आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा बताऊँगा। ठीक है, और आप इसके अंदर रैंडम स्टैट भी दे सकते हो, जैसे कि कोई भी वैल्यू दे दूँ, मैं 42 देता हूँ। सो एक्चुअली सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर क्या करता है, एक हाइपर प्लेन ड्रा करता है। अब मैं प्लॉट्स में नहीं जाऊंगा, बट वीडियो बहुत लंबी हो जाएगी। बट सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर अगर दो क्लासेस है तो दो क्लासेस के बीच में एक हाइपर प्लेन ड्रा करेगा, और वो हाइपर प्लेन बिल्कुल सेंटर में होगा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ नियरेस्ट पॉइंट फ्रॉम बोथ क्लासेस। ओके, तो ये सपोर्ट वेक्टर है, इसके दो टाइप्स है कि नॉन लीनियर, अगर डेटा नॉन लीनियर है, लिनियरिटी नहीं है, तो फिर आप नॉन लीनियर यहाँ पे डालो। अगर डेटा आपका लीनियर है, अब ये आपको कैसे पता चलेगा, तो आप डेटा को प्लॉट करो, मैं ऑलरेडी कर चुका हूँ, तो यहाँ पे लीनियर है। रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासीफायर क्या करता है कि इंटरनली बहुत सारे डिसीजन ट्री ट्रेन करता है, जैसे कि यहाँ पे मैंने 100 दिया है, तो ये 100 डिसीजन ट्री ट्रेन करेगा। ठीक है, और फिर यहाँ पे इसके इंटरनल वोटिंग क्लासीफायर होता है, तो कुछ इस तरह सीन होता है इसके अंदर, आप इसको अलग से देख सकते हो। और उसके बाद है हमारा ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग। सो ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग, और इसका भी वैल्यू होगा ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग, और इसके अंदर भी आप एन एस्टिमेटर बिल्कुल सेम रहेगा। सो मैं क्या करता हूँ, इन्हीं को कॉपी करता है, कंट्रोल सी कंट्रोल वी, ठीक है। और उसके बाद है हमारे पास के नियरेस्ट नेबर्स। सो के एन एन अगर मैं नाम दूँ, यहाँ लेट से प्रॉपर नाम देते हैं, नहीं तो बिगनर्स कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे। सो दिस विल बी के नेबर, नेबर नेबर स्पेलिंग IGHBORs, राइट। सो के नियरेस्ट नेबर्स, और फिर उसका वैल्यू हमेशा की तरह। अब इसके अंदर आप एक पैरामीटर देते हो n नेबर्स, ठीक है, n नेबर्स, कि आप कितने नेबर्स बनाना चाहते हो। अब आपको अगेन के नियरेस्ट नेबर अगर आपको आइडिया है तो आपको पता होगा नेबर्स क्या होते हैं। एंड फाइनली वी हैव मल्टी और नॉमियल एन बी। सो उसका वैल्यू भी होगा अपना मल्टी, आजा भाई, मल्टी नॉमियल। इसके लिए मैं इसको ऐसे ही रहने देता हूँ। तो मेरा डिक्शनरी तैयार हो गया, जिसके अंदर हमारे पास सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासिफायर, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट क्लासिफायर, ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग क्लासिफायर, के नियरेस्ट नेबर क्लासिफायर, एंड वी हैव मल्टी नॉमियल नेव बेस। Now I am training 5 different models at the same time. So Python में loop हम चलाएंगे. So for this loop will take two things. Model name, actually this one, this is okay, and its value यानी model यानी this one. So actually this loop is going to take at a same, at first iteration it will take the name of the model and the model, ओके। बट यहाँ पे आपको जुगाड़ लगाना होगा, जुगाड़ के आप जाए मॉडल्स के इस वाले डिक्शनरी में। अब आप एट द सेम टाइम क्या चाहते हो, दो चीज़ें, की एंड वैल्यू। फर्स्ट आइटरेशन ऑफ द लूप, सेकंड आइटरेशन ऑफ द लूप, की एंड वैल्यू। तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम यहाँ पे मॉडल्स में अगर हमें जस्ट की चाहिए तो हम की देते हैं, अगर हमें जस्ट वैल्यू चाहिए तो हम वैल्यू देते हैं, लेकिन मुझे चाहिए दोनों, की एंड वैल्यू। सो उसके लिए आप यूज करते हो आइटम्स। लेट्स प्रिंट इट, मॉडल नेम, ठीक है, एक स्पेस देता हूं, और ये है अपना मॉडल। तो ये देखो भाई साहब, अपना SVC रैंडम फॉरेस्ट विद रैंडम फॉरेस्ट वैल्यू, ग्रेडियंट बूस्टिंग। सो ये जस्ट मैंने आपको समझाना था, तो इसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है भाई, ओके। So on first iteration, what I can do, oops, like this. So on first iteration, I'll simply say train model. So model तो इसके पास है, तो उसको मैं फिट करता हूँ दो चीज़ें। 70% डेटा ऑफ आर इनपुट कॉलम दैट इज ट्रेन, सबको पता है, एंड 70% डेटा ऑफ आर आउटपुट कॉलम दैट इज वाइट ट्रेन, oops, ओके। ट्रेन के बाद लेट्स टेस्ट द मॉडल, टेस्ट मॉडल। सो इट विल बी प्रेडिक्शन, मॉडल डॉट प्रेडिक्ट, oops, प्रेडिक्ट ऑन एक्स टेस्ट। तो मॉडल यहाँ पे ट्रेन हो गए। अब मॉडल जो रिमेनिंग 30% डेटा है टेस्ट का, इनपुट कॉलम्स का, उससे हमने इससे प्रेडिक्शन मारे। लेट्स कैलकुलेट एक्यूरेसी, कैलकुलेट एक्यूरेसी। सो बहुत ही सिंपल है, हमारे पास एक फंक्शन है एक्यूरेसी स्कोर, ऊपर मैंने इंपोर्ट किया है ये वाला, ये भाई साहब। इसके अंदर आप क्या देते हो, दो चीज़ें, एक वो डेटा आउटपुट कॉलम का जो मॉडल ने अभी तक नहीं देखा है, वो वाइट टेस्ट में है, एक वो डेटा जो मॉडल ने प्रेडिक्ट किया है, वो है प्रेडिक्शंस, ठीक है। यानी एक्चुअली वी आर गोइंग टू कंपेयर मॉडल प्रेडिक्शंस एंड द डेटा दैट हैजंट सीन येट बाय एनी मॉडल। सो वो ये डेटा है और वो ये डेटा है, और इसको मैं स्टोर करता हूँ एक वेरिएबल में, एक्यूरेसी में, ठीक है, परफेक्ट। उसके बाद लेट्स डू कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स, कैलकुलेट कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स, कैलकुलेट कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स। तो अगेन आपको कुछ करना नहीं है, मैं क्या कहता हूँ CM विल बी इक्वल टू कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स जो हमारे पास वेरिएबल है, और इसको अगेन वो डेटा जो मॉडल ने नहीं देखा है और जो मॉडल ने प्रेडिक्ट किया है। अब हम क्या करते हैं, वन बाय वन प्रिंट करते हैं। सो फर्स्ट व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, लेट्स प्रिंट। अब यहाँ पे मैं फॉर्मेट का यूज करूंगा। सो फर्स्ट लेट्स प्रिंट मॉडल नेम। ओके, मॉडल नेम ये बढ़िया रहेगा। मॉडल नेम प्रिंट करने के बाद करस्पॉन्डिंगली लेट्स प्रिंट इट्स एक्यूरेसी विद दिस मैसेज। ठीक है, और वो है भाई साहब अपना एक्यूरेसी। ठीक है, ये करने के बाद डू द सेम फॉर कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स। सो प्रिंट फॉर्मेट, और यहाँ पे मॉडल नेम, उप्स आई थिंक मैंने दो किए, मॉडल नेम विद कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स। सो मैं यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स। अब देखना मैं इसको एक नई लाइन में डालता हूँ, बिकॉज द रीज़न इज मुझे काम क्या करना है, ये CM जो है ना इसको मुझे एरे से स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट करना होगा, क्योंकि ये एक एरे होगा। तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, numpy लाइब्रेरी के अंदर जाके वहाँ पे एक बढ़िया सा फंक्शन है एरे टू स्ट्रिंग, ये फंक्शन है, और इसके अंदर मैं देता हूँ CM जो कि मेरा ये कन्फ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स का रिजल्ट है, और आप यहाँ पे सेपरेटर भी देते हो। तो सेपरेटर एक पैरामीटर है एरे टू स्ट्रिंग के अंदर। सेपरेटर में आप एक्चुअली मैं इस कॉमा से इसको सेपरेट करता हूँ। ठीक है, ये मैं बताऊंगा, रिजल्ट जब आएगा मैं बताऊंगा। सो वी आर रेडी। उसके बाद नाउ this loop first take support vector classifier. So model support vector classifier will trend, will predict, will take accuracy, will take confusion matrix. After that here will be SVM, so SVC, and here will be SVC accuracy. The same thing goes, here will be the name of SVC and its matrices. CM यानी confusion matrix. इसके बाद loop will iterate second time for the second model. It was I think random forest, or what was it? It was random forest. So for random forest it will do the same. Then or on third iteration it will be for gradient boosting. Let me check recording. Perfect. So let's run it. Let's run it. Let me check numpy library. Yeah, I have imported. Okay, perfect. So let me run it. Okay, perfect. It's taking no time because our data is very clean and pre-processed. So SVC give 100% accuracy on test data. Okay, amazingly, because data is really pre-processed. That's why. और ये जो है ना, ये डायगोनल को आप गोली मारो, This is actually SVC accuracy score is this. Okay, this is the SVC confusion matrix. Now confusion matrix diagonal को छोड़, diagonal के ऊपर जो कि सारे जीरो है एंड diagonal के नीचे जो कि सारे जीरो है, इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारा मॉडल गिविंग नथिंग, नो एरर। जितना मॉडल के ऊपर जीरो होगा, सॉरी डायगोनल के ऊपर, दिस इज डायगोनल। ओके, दिस पार्ट मैं आसान भाषा में समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, नॉट गोइंग इन मशीन्स और मैथमेटिक्स वे। ओके, समझो कि कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स जब आप प्लॉट करते हो किसी भी लेवल के लिए, तो डायगोनल के ऊपर का हिस्सा अगर सारा का सारा जीरो है और नीचे भी सारा का सारा जीरो है, इसका मतलब है आपका मॉडल इज गोइंग परफेक्टली। लेकिन लेट्स से अगर यहाँ पे 1 है, यहाँ पे 1 है, यहाँ पे 2 है, तो इसका मतलब यहाँ पे 2 एरर जिसने किए हैं, यहाँ पे 1 एरर किया है। द सेम थिंग गोज विद डाउन एरिया। अच्छा, और ये जहाँ पे जो हमने स्ट्रिंग टू एरे टू स्ट्रिंग यूज़ किया, मैंने इस कामा से, यहाँ पे सेपरेटर मैंने कामा दिया। सो एक्चुअली मैंने अब इसको स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट कर दिया। पहले ये करे था, लेकिन अब ये एक स्ट्रिंग बन गया विद सेपरेशन। ओके, now secondly we have random forest, the same result, perfect. We have, so all model will give 100% because the data is really pre-processed. So perfect, ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया रिजल्ट दे रहा है हर मॉडल। तो हम क्या करेंगे, टेस्ट करते हैं कि कौन सा मॉडल बढ़िया रिजल्ट देता है। बट उसके लिए मुझे लेट मी रिमूव कपल ऑफ सेल्स, सिंगल प्रेडिक्शन करते हैं। Now understand this thing, it's very important. But first लेट मी आई एम गोइंग टू सेलेक्ट सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर। तो मुझे इसको सेपरेटली ट्रेन करना होगा क्योंकि लूप के अंदर वाला तो मैं यूज ही नहीं कर सकता। सो एस वी सी, आई एम सॉरी फॉर दैट, kernel will be linear and svc dot fit, again वही सेपरेटली मैं इसे यहाँ पर ट्रेन कर रहा हूँ लाइक दिस, क्योंकि मैंने इसको यूज करना है आगे प्रेडिक्शन के लिए। ypred svc डॉट प्रोडिक्ट ऑन अपना जो x टेस्ट का उस पे, और अगर मैं इसका एक्यूरेसी स्कोर चेक करूँ with what y test and और जो ypred है, तो again it will be 100. let's save the model. okay, अब मॉडल को कैसे आप सेव करते हो फ्रॉम, क्योंकि इस मॉडल को आगे हमने प्रोडक्शन लेवल पे यूज करना है, तो पिकल को इंपोर्ट कर दो, पिकल के अंदर जाके इसको डंप कर दो और यहाँ पे आप अपने मॉडल का नाम दो svc और ओपन में आप इसको प्रॉपर नेम दे दो। सो डंप, ओके नॉट डंप, मैं इसको नाम देता हूँ svc, अच्छा एक्चुअली svc डॉट pkl एक्सटेंशन आपको देना है और यहाँ पे आपको बाइनरी मोड देना है। सो वाइल सेविंग व्हाट यू डू फॉर बाइनरी मोड wb राइट बाइनरी, वाइल लोडिंग द मॉडल यू यूज rb रीड बाइनरी, वी विल सी इन PyCharm इन प्रोडक्शन लेवल। ओके, सो पिकल डॉट डंप svc जो कि मेरा ये ट्रेंड मॉडल है विद दिस नेम, बट आई वांट टू सेव इट in this folder. Actually let me go in this models, I want to save my model in this folder. okay, I already save it but I wanted to save it right here ताकि स्ट्रक्चर हो। सो द मोमेंट, लेट मी फर्स्ट मॉडल्स like this, the moment I run this cell, let me comment it out, it will save the model right here in models folder. okay, svc.pkl, but I have already saved, so I'll not going to save it again. Perfect. Now let's load the model. It was saving model. Let's load the model to use it. Load model. ओके, तो बहुत सिंपल है, आपको करना कुछ है नहीं, आपको यहाँ पे लिखना है svc will be equal to pickle library. एक्चुअली मुझे यहाँ पे इसको इंपोर्ट नहीं करना चाहिए, कमेंट नहीं करना चाहिए था। सो पिकल लाइब्रेरी और यहाँ पे आप लिखते हो लोड, ठीक है, कीप इन माइंड लोड नॉट लोड्स, लोड फंक्शन नॉट लोड्स, और इसके अंदर आप लिखते हो ओपन svc। ओके, नाउ इट्स इन मॉडल्स वाला फोल्डर में गया और वहाँ पे s एंटर टैब एंड आफ्टर दैट रीड बाइनरी मोड, तो मेरा मॉडल यहाँ पे लोड हो गया। लेट्स परफॉर्म सम सिंगल recommendation. So my data set, let's take some x test value. This is my x test. okay, now this is a record, this is an entire record. Each record represent symptoms, and as I already mentioned, if itching here is 1, it's mean it's on, यानी यहाँ पे अगर 1 है तो ये इचिंग है। स्किन रेश तो मतलब इस बंदे को नहीं है, अगर 0 है, अगर यहाँ पे 1 है तो मतलब है मॉडल स्किन एरप्शन इसका है, इस बंदे को ये है। आई विल टेक ऑल दिस इनपुट फॉर दिस 437 रिकॉर्ड, 4000 सॉरी, तो ये एक पेशेंट भी आप कह सकते हो, ये एक रिकॉर्ड भी कह सकते हो, जो रिप्रेजेंट करता है 0 और 1 को। जहाँ पे 1 है वहाँ पे मतलब है कि ये सिम्टम है इस बंदे को, अगर 0 है तो मतलब है नहीं है। सो आई विल टेक, आई एम सॉरी मुझे यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा फ्लो है, सो दैट्स वाई आई लॉक, ये मेरा एक रिकॉर्ड एक्स टेस्ट से आ रहा है, ठीक है, ये एक रिकॉर्ड है और इनके मैं निकालूंगा हम actually values. So this is an entire input, ये मेरा एक input है, where 1 represent symptom is located, बाकी other 0 represent symptom is not located. So एक बंदा है जिसको ये 3 symptoms है, ये 3 नहीं बहुत सारे हैं actually, तो जहाँ पे 1 है वो ऑन है। अब देखना ये सिंगल 1D एरे है, ये क्या है 1D एरे है, और मेरा मॉडल एक ऐसा डेटा पे ट्रेन है जो 2D है। तो मैं इसको रीशेप करूँगा, और रीशेप के लिए आप 1 -1 यूज़ करता हूँ। अब देखना यहाँ पे 2 हो गए हैं, ये स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट 2 हो गए क्योंकि अब ये 2D में कन्वर्ट हो गया। अब मेरे पास एक बहुत ही बढ़िया मॉडल है जिसका नाम है SVC, सॉरी नॉट दिस वन, सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर। इससे मैं प्रेडिक्ट मारूंगा इस डेटा पे, ठीक है, ये डेटा पे प्रेडिक्ट में मारूंगा, और प्रेडिक्ट मारने के बाद इसने मुझे दिया 40। अब ये 40 क्या है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हमारे पास वाइट टेस्ट में अगर जाएं, दिस नंबर रिप्रेजेंट सम डिजीजेस, जैसे फंगल डिजीज के लिए 15 था। सो द सेम इफ देयर इज अ डिजीज विद दिस इंटीजर 40 वैल्यू, तो ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है। सो अगर मैं एक्स टेस्ट के 0 वाई टेस्ट के 0 पे जाऊँ, सो इट्स 40। इसका मतलब है कि अगर मॉडल ने 40 प्रेडिक्ट किया है, तो वाई टेस्ट के अंदर एक्स टेस्ट के 0 इंडेक्स पे एंड वाई टेस्ट के 0 इंडेक्स पे जो भी डिजीज है वो सेम है, मीनिंग मॉडल इज वर्किंग क्वाइट गुड। बट व्हाट आई डू, आई प्रिंट दिस इंटायर थिंग फॉर बेटर रिप्रेजेंटेशन। प्रिंट मॉडल predicted disease like this and print actual label। एक्चुअली मुझे इसको लेबल कह देना चाहिए, प्रेडिक्टेड लेबल जो मॉडल ने प्रेडिक्ट किया है, एंड आई ऑल्सो वांट टू चेक द एक्चुअल लेबल कि क्या मॉडल का रिजल्ट बढ़िया है या ख़राब। तो यहाँ पे मैं कहता हूँ वो अगर मुझे मालूम करना है तो मैं वाइट टेस्ट से ही मालूम करूँगा, परफेक्ट। सो देखो दोनों सेम है, तो इसका मतलब है रिजल्ट ही बढ़िया है। और इसको मैं कहता हूँ टेस्ट 1। इसको समझो, ये जो वाइट टेस्ट के अंदर 40 आ रहा है ये एक्चुअली डिजीज है, हमने इनकोड किया था लेबल इनकोडर यूज़ करते हुए, लेकिन यूज़र को हम ये नहीं दिखाएंगे, यूज़र को हम प्रॉपर मैसेज दिखाएंगे थोड़ी देर बाद। अभी जस्ट मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ। लेट्स ट्राई अनदर वन। So control V, this is test 2. Now this time I'm going to take other record. Let's say in X test 10 इंडेक्स पे जो एक पूरा सिम्टम्स का रिकॉर्ड है, 132 कॉलम्स का एक रिकॉर्ड, वो मैं टेक कर रहा हूँ, और ऑल्सो आई एम गोइंग टू कंपेयर इट ऑन द सेम 10। पता नहीं मैंने क्या बोला, बट या मैंने कुछ बोला। सो प्रेडिक्टेड लेबल परफेक्ट, मॉडल ने प्रेडिक्ट किया, और एक्चुअल भी 20 है। सो मतलब हम बिल्कुल तैयार है आगे जाने के लिए। सो यहाँ तक आई होप आप लोगों को समझ आ गया कि हमने क्या किया। नाउ द मेन थिंग, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ दिस इंटायर प्रोजेक्ट इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट। मैंने आप लोगों को ऑलरेडी सारे के सारे डेटाबेस डेटा सेट बताए हैं, ठीक है, ये आप सबको पता है। सो हमने करना क्या है, एक ऐसा सिस्टम बनाना है कि फर्स्टली लेट मी लोड कपल ऑफ डेटा सेट, ताकि आप लोग को कंफ्यूजन ना हो। सो लेट मी लोड इट। फर्स्ट आई एम गोइंग टू लोड सिम्टम्स डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला डेटा सेट, ओके। सिम्टम्स डिजीज वाला जो पूरा डेटा है वो इंपोर्ट करता हूँ। सो मैं इसको नाम देता हूँ सिम डीज या डेज। उसके बाद pd.read csv। अब मेरे डेटा सेट फोल्डर के अंदर इस डेटा का जो नाम है वो है सिम्टम df, परफेक्ट। सो लेट मी शो दिस इज द डेटा, ओके। नाउ एक इसमें एक कॉलम है डिजीज दैट रिप्रेजेंट ऑल द डिजीज दैट वर प्रेजेंटेड इन द प्रोग्नोसिस, ओके। और उसके आगे सिम्टम्स हैं कि अगर फंगल इन्फेक्शन है तो इस बंदे को जो सिम्टम्स है वो है ईचिंग, स्किन रैश, मॉडल स्किन एरप्शन, दिस things, okay. So this data is not important, but the second data that I am importing is very important, that is precautions. Precautions pd.read read csv data set, डेटा सेट के अंदर जा और वहाँ पे जो प्रिकॉशन df है वो निकलवा। और अगर मैं यहाँ पे प्रिकॉशन दिखाऊँ, सो दिस इज़ द प्रिकॉशन वाला डेटा। अब देखना एक कॉलम है डिजीज जिसमें डिजीज का नाम है ड्रग रिएक्शन. नाउ कीप इन माइंड दिस डिजीजेस आर बिल्कुल सिमिलर टू द ओरिजिनल डेटा आउटपुट कॉलम प्रोग्नोसिस. these are actually these diseases, very important part. ये जितने भी डिजीजेज है प्रोग्नोसिस के अंदर, क्योंकि हमारा मॉडल इसी पे ट्रेन हुआ है, एक्चुअली हर डेटा के डिजीज वाले कॉलम में वी हैव पुट ऑल द सेम डिजीजेज. नाउ आफ्टर रिसर्च मैंने हर डिजीज का प्रिकॉशन 1 कि अगर ड्रग रिएक्शन है तो उसको कह दो स्टॉप इरिटेशन. उस बंदे को एज अ प्रिकॉशन हमें, जैसे डॉक्टर कहता है, व्हेन डॉक्टर सेज इफ डॉक्टर डिटेक्ट दैट यू हैव अ ड्रग रिएक्शन, इट्स मीन दैट डॉक्टर विल गोइंग टू गिव यू सम प्रिकॉशंस दैट you need to stop irritation. Also consult nearest hospital. He can also consult you nearest hospital, okay, if the doctor is not expert in that field. Also he can say that stop taking drug, some suggestion. These are actually precautions, not medication. We will after that follow up some other. And if the patient has malaria after detecting, then the doctor will say that consult nearest hospital, avoid oily food, avoid non-veg food, something. Let's import some other data, like workout. Doctor will not recommend workout, but our system is more expert than doctor, so it will give exactly workout. So I have a workout data set like this. Now workout, I am showing you each data set separately because it's very important when we will implement a lot of code here. You need to understand all these data set very carefully. So again, disease, these are all the similar disease name, and workout. So fungal infection, okay, agar disease है fungal infection, then our system will recommend in workout avoid sugary foods. फंगल इन्फेक्शन में कंज्यूम probiotics or whatever it is. Fungal infection में increase intake of garlic, okay, only in case of if our model predicted fungal infection. But let's say अगर हमारे मॉडल ने predict किया है this impetigo or whatever it is, consult a healthcare professional, follow medical recommendation, avoid scratching. Top 5. We will see that a bit later, but I am just explaining so that you can understand things that what we have structured. And description will be equal to pd.read csv dataset, dataset description. Okay, so let me show the description wala part. Now in description again we have all the diseases and each disease had a description. Okay, fungal infection ka description है that what is fungal infection, how it looks like, a lot of description like doctor आपको बताता है. Okay, for each disease. And we have finally medication, the most important data set, medications वाला pd.read csv data set के अंदर medication. बढ़िया. Now medication is very important. So medication में disease, let's say our model predicted fungal infection, so we have medication. These are medication name, a lot of name here you will see. So for each, if our model say fungal infection, then we will recommend this medication. Okay भाई साहब, एक्चुअली वी आर डीलिंग डेटाबेस, बहुत ही बढ़िया सिस्टम है. लेट्स डू फाइनल पार्ट. डाइट्स, खुराक, खाना. तो डेटा सेट के अंदर जाओ और वहाँ पे है अपना डाइट्स CSV, एंड दिस इज आवर डाइट्स. ओके, अगर फंगल इन्फेक्शन है देन वी विल सी दैट यू हैव टू डू दिस डाइट, गार्लिक वाला डाइट. अगर एलर्जी है देन वी विल से एलिमिनेट डाइट, ओमेगा 3 रिच फूड्स. सो दिस आर डाइट्स. परफेक्ट. सो एक्चुअली दिस आर databases. Okay, these are pre-built or pre-defined databases, but keep in mind these are not some टॉय डेटा सेट. ये बिल्कुल रिसर्च बेस है. हर डिजीज के लिए रिसर्च है, सिम्टम्स का. हर डिजीज के लिए रिसर्च है, प्रिकॉशन का, वर्कआउट का, डिस्क्रिप्शन उसका, मेडिकेशन रिसर्च है.
ऐसे ही नहीं कि हमने जस्ट पुट किया है अपनी तरफ से डेटा सेट और डाइट्स के लिए द सेम. सो ऑल थिंग्स आर स्ट्रक्चर एंड ऑन द बेसिस और रिसर्च और ऑल थिंग्स आर रियल, नॉट जस्ट डमी डेटा सेट. नाउ लेट्स क्रिएट ओरिजिनल थिंग. ओरिजिनल थिंग ये है कि अब हम क्या करेंगे, एक ऐसा फंक्शन बनाएंगे जो डिजीज को प्रेडिक्ट करेगा. ठीक है. नाउ लेट मी क्रिएट अ फंक्शन मॉडल prediction function. So def get कोई भी नाम दे सकते हो, predicted value. नाउ इसके पास पेशेंट का सिम्टम्स आएंगे. क्या आएंगे? symptoms. So this function will take patient symptoms. At a time it could be 2, at a time it could be 5, at a time it could be 3, at a time it could be 10. So this function will take any patient symptoms. अच्छा, अब जब इस फंक्शन के पास सिम्टम्स आएगा तो आपको याद हो हमारा मॉडल जिस डेटा पे ट्रेन हुआ है उसमें जो शेप है वो था 132 जो कॉलम है. तो पेशेंट तो हो सकता है. ओके, लेट मी take few things so that you can easily understand. Okay, so let me check the recording. Okay, now यहाँ पे मैंने दो चीज़ें कॉपी पेस्ट किए हैं जो कि मैंने पहले से बनाए हैं. सिम्टम्स डिक्शनरी, डिजीज लिस्ट. काइंडली प्लीज़ समझो इसको, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. आगे बढ़ने से पहले इसका समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. सिम्टम्स डिक्शनरी कंटेन 132 कॉलम, 132 वैल्यूज. ओके. ईचिंग इज 0, स्किन रेश विद 1 दिस, यानी यहाँ पे की में हमने जितने भी हमारे डेटा सेट के अंदर कॉलम है वो डाले हैं. ठीक है. तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे जाऊँ टोटल 132 फ्रॉम 0 to 131 विल बिकम 132. सो अब ये डिक्शनरी मैं इसलिए यूज़ कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरा मॉडल एक ऐसा डेटा पे ट्रेन हुआ है जिसमें 132 वैल्यूज थे, 132 कॉलम्स थे, शेप था, इसलिए मुझे ये एक्स्ट्रा स्टेप करना पड़ा. और डिजीज लिस्ट आउटपुट कॉलम है, एक्चुअली प्रोग्नोसिस है, वेयर फंगल इन्फेक्शन 15 क्या था, फंगल इन्फेक्शन, 4 एलर्जी था. ये मैंने एक्सप्लोर किया है, ऐसे ही मैंने नहीं डाला है. लेबल इनकोडर ने फंगल इन्फेक्शन को दिया है 15, एलर्जी को दिया है 4, दिस डिजीज को दिया है 16 एंड क्रोनिक कोलेस्टेसिस को दिया है 9, ड्रग रिएक्शन इज 14. So when our model predict any disease, it will not be allergy, it will be actually 4. Okay. Or if our model predict a drug reaction, it will not be string drug reaction, it will be 14. So what I'll do, firstly, if our model predict 15, that I will take from this disease list fungal infection, not 15, because user will not understand, and user on my website will not understand 15. What is 15? He will understand fungal infection. Okay. But for this, first I need to create 132 list because my model is trained. Let me show you. Okay, this is the function. Now just give me a second. Now within this function, first I'll get this patient symptoms. Okay, so here what I can do, I'll create an empty array of zeros. Okay, so np dot zeros, और इसकी साइज कितनी होगी, जितना मेरा ये सिम्टम्स डिक्ट हैं. अब थोड़ी चीज़ें की समझ आपको आएगी. सिम्टम्स डिक्ट. सो आई एम गोइंग टू क्रिएट एन एम्प्टी एरे विद जीरोज, एवरीवेयर जीरो. ये कैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ. यहाँ पे देख np डॉट जीरोज, अगर मैं 10 दे दूँ यहाँ पे, सो इट विल कंटेन 10 जीरोज, यानी इसकी शेप होगी 10 जो कि 10 जीरोज. लेकिन मैंने दिया सिम्टम्स डिक्ट का लेंथ मतलब 132. सो 132 शेप होगा विद एवरीवेयर इज 0. ठीक है. जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड ऑल थिंग्स. सो लेट मी कॉल इट इनपुट वेक्टर. अब ये वेक्टर है, एक एरे है जिसमें 132 जीरो है, यानी इसकी शेप 132 है क्योंकि मेरा मॉडल भी 132 पे ट्रेन हुआ है. अगर शेप में इधर उधर हुआ तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारे पंगे हो गए, एरर हो गए. अच्छा, ये कहने के बाद अब मैं एक लूप चलाऊंगा. अब ये देखना, ये भी बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. फॉर आइटम इन पेशेंट वाला सिम्टम्स, अब ये भी मैं समझाऊंगा कि इसका क्या मतलब है। अगर मैं इस फंक्शन को कॉल करूं, मैं इस फंक्शन को जब कॉल करूंगा, इस फंक्शन का नाम है गेट, नॉट गेट आई पाइथन, गेट प्रेडिक्टेड, कि मैंने इसको रन नहीं किया है, दैट्स वाई प्रेडिक्टेड वैल्यू। तो इसको मैं बेचूंगा कि मैं एक पेशेंट हूं, मुझे स्किन रेश है, उसके बाद मैं कामा डालूंगा, उसके बाद मैं कहूंगा कि मुझे शिवरिंग भी हो रहा है, उसके बाद मैं कहूंगा कि मुझे स्लीपिंग भी हो रहा है। तो कितने वैल्यू है? 3 है। तो अब ये फंक्शन जब कॉल होगा, दिस 3 वैल्यूज इज नथिंग बट अ लिस्ट ऑफ 3 वैल्यूज. It will be with patient symptoms. Okay, so I have to take one by one value. First time it will take skin rash, that's why I am running a loop. From patient symptoms, from this take first time item skin rash, second shivering, sleep. Okay, why we are doing that? So that I can pass all this value within this empty input vector. Okay, अब देखना, perfect input वेक्टर के अंदर पास करो सिम्टम्स डिक्शनरी. ओके, सिम्टम्स डिक्शनरी, एंड सिम्टम्स डिक्शनरी के अंदर पास करो आइटम और इसको दे दो 1. अब ये हुआ क्या? व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन? व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन? गोइंग ऑन इज दिस थिंग. मेरा एक पूरा रिकॉर्ड है, दिस इज माई वन रिकॉर्ड. ओके, दिस इज माई वन सिम्टम रिकॉर्ड. 132 सिम्टम्स. फर्स्ट आई क्रिएटेड 132 एम्प्टी जीरोज एवरीवेयर. These 132 symptoms or columns or values represent this disease, fungal infection. Okay, so what I'm going first, within that function I have created input vector that contain 132 empty zeros. Okay, after that I am going to put, if user put if user, let's say user input user input is skin rash. Okay, user input is skin rash and model skin rash. So I am going to, within that all 132 empty empty list, not empty list, actually contains with all zeros, 32 zeros, put there 1 skin. If the user input is skin rash, then put 1. If the user input is model skin eruption, then put 1. If the user input is itching, put 1. Let's say user input is shivering, then there is 0. In our original data there is 0, then no, don't need to put 0. So let me explain it right here. So actually हो क्या रहा है, सबसे पहले ये फंक्शन पेशेंट सिम्टम्स लेगा जो कि 3 है, बट वी हैव इनपुट वेक्टर 132. So I am passing these 3 values within one within input vector, that is 132. Put item, but before putting item take symptoms dictionary, itching, skin rash, ये वगैरह, और इसको दे दो 1. अगर लोकेट करता है, अगर ये यूजर इनपुट उस स्पेसिफिक रिकॉर्ड के अंदर है तो दे दो 1, क्योंकि हो सकता है वो 2 हो, वो 3 हो, वो 4 है, लेकिन मेरा जो मॉडल ट्रेन हुआ है वो बाइनरी है 0 1 0 1. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम गिविंग दिस पार्ट. आई होप बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, लेकिन आई होप आप लोगों को समझ आ गया होगा. ये जब आप कोड रन करो, एक एक चीज़ देख लेना, आपको आसान हो जाएगा. और उसके बाद मुझे रिटर्न करना है सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर से प्रेडिक्ट मारना है. एक्चुअली प्रेडिक्ट और यहाँ पे मैं लिस्ट पास करूँगा इनपुट वेक्टर, राइट. इट शुड बी सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर, सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर. सो सपोर्ट वेक्टर क्लासीफायर प्रेडिक्ट करेगा इनपुट वेक्टर पे, ठीक है. और उसका मैं यहाँ पे 0 भी देता हूँ ताकि वो जो ब्रैकेट होता है वो ना हो, यानी प्योर वैल्यू हो. लेकिन ये हम किसके अंदर पास करेंगे? मुझे क्या मॉडल तो या तो अगर फंगल इन्फेक्शन है तो वो 15 देगा, अगर क्रॉनिक दिस है तो ये 9 देगा. बट आई वांट एक्चुअली, इफ मॉडल प्रेडिक्ट 9, आई डोंट नीड 9, आई नीड दिस थिंग. इफ मॉडल प्रेडिक्ट 15, देन आई नीड दिस थिंग. So I'll pass simply this entire thing within the disease wala list like this. Perfect. So अपना काम तैयार है, तो हम इसको रन करते हैं. Now let's do proper things. So what I can do, test 1. Okay, अब मैं एग्जीक्यूशन के दौरान यूज़र से इनपुट लेगा, उसके लिए मैं पाइथन का इनपुट लेगा, एंटर योर सिम्टम्स, और ये जाएगा किसके पास, सिम्टम्स। अगर मैं इसको रन करूं, एचिंग, स्लीपिंग, coughing, if I enter then this variable, these values will be stored in symptoms। ठीक है, ये देखो ये स्टोर हो गए। तो एक्चुअली वी आर गोइंग टू टेक दिस थिंग। अब देखना ये एक स्ट्रिंग है कॉमा सेपरेटेड, सो यहाँ पे मुझे इसको स्ट्रिप करना होगा, पहले तो मुझे स्प्लिट करना होगा कॉमा से। सो व्हाट आई कैन डू, यहाँ पे कोड थोड़ा ट्रिकी होने वाला है। मैं एक लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का यूज़ करूँगा और इसके अंदर एक लूप चलाऊँगा जो एक सिम्टम उठाएगा, किससे, सिम्टम से, यानी इस सिम्टम से एट अ टाइम, फर्स्ट टाइम इट विल टेक ईचिंग, सेकंड टाइम इट विल टेक स्लीपिंग, देन चॉपिंग, बट मुझे इसको स्प्लिट करना होगा। उसके लिए आपको यूज़ करना है स्प्लिट फंक्शन, किससे, कामा से। सो इफ आई रन इट, उप्स, इट विल गिव एरर बिकॉज इट विल रिटर्न एस। देखो अब एक लिस्ट बन गया, पहले एक स्ट्रिंग था लेकिन अब मैंने कामा से सेपरेट किया, ईच वर्ड को एक लिस्ट बन गया। अब ये बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि मुझे इसको क्या करना होगा, अब यहाँ पे स्ट्रिप करना होगा। सो एस डॉट दिस एस डॉट स्ट्रिप। सो अब देखना यू विल सी द सेम थिंग, बट अगर यूज़र ने कामा डाला है तो वो इसको भी स्ट्रिप कर देगा, क्योंकि हो सकता है यूज़र इनपुट में बगैर कामा के डाले या कामा डाले, तो ये हमें हैंडल करना चाहिए। और इसको मैं कहता हूँ यूज़र सिम्टम्स, यूज़र सिम्टम्स, और इसको मैं बल्कि यहाँ से कट ही मारता हूँ, कंट्रोल एक्स। लेट मी चेक द रिकॉर्डिंग। ओके, और ये अब यहाँ पे आएगा। अच्छा, अब एक आखिरी काम करते हैं, ये जो लिस्ट भाई साहब है, ये जो लिस्ट है ये भी हम यहाँ से इसका भी इलाज करते हैं। तो इसके लिए आपको अगेन मैं मोस्टली लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का यूज़ करता हूँ। सो मुझे अगेन जाना होगा सिम्टम्स के अंदर, बल्कि सिम्टम्स के अंदर नहीं, पहले तो मुझे एक लूप चलाना होगा, फॉर सिम्प इन यूज़र सिम्टम्स पे अब मैं लूप चलाऊंगा। पहले मैंने इस सिस्टम सिम्टम्स पे लूप चलाया, स्प्लिट किया, निकाले, स्ट्रिप किया, यूज़र सिम्टम में स्टोर किया। अब ये रिज़ल्ट है, अब इस पे मैं लूप चला रहा हूँ, और लूप चलाते वक्त होगा क्या कि ये वन बाय वन ये वर्ड उठाएगा, ईचिंग, स्लीपिंग। अगर मैं दिखाऊँ, अगर मैं यहाँ पे एस एम लिखूँ, लेट्स एंटर ईचिंग, कॉफिंग, कॉफिंग, और कॉफिंग के बाद यहाँ पे मैं लेट्स से स्लीपिंग एंटर कर दो। तो ये देखो फाइनल जो रिज़ल्ट है हमारे पास वही सेम है। क्यों? क्योंकि इसने भी ईचिंग, कॉफिंग, स्लीपिंग उठा लिया। लेकिन मेरा मेन गोल, यहाँ पे मेरा मेन गोल था ये लिस्ट का था, इसका मैंने इलाज करना था। तो चलिए इसका इलाज करते हैं। अब इसका इलाज कैसे करेंगे? इसका इलाज ये होगा कि हम इसको भी स्ट्रिप करते हैं, डॉट स्ट्रिप। वैसे मैं यहाँ पे भी कर सकता था, लेकिन मैंने चाहा कि मैं क्यों ना अकेले अलग ही कर दूँ। तो भाई साहब अगर ये चीज़ आए, ये लिस्ट अगर आए, लिस्ट विद लास्ट थिंग, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस लास्ट वाला काम। तो अगर मैं इसको रन करूँ, ईचिंग, स्लीपिंग, अब देखो एक्चुअली मैंने गलती की, मुझे यहाँ पे एक देना चाहिए था, ए बी 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 सी सी सी। सो इट्स एक्चुअली द सेम। मुझे एक्चुअली स्पेस देना था थोड़ा सा, लाइक दिस, ए बी 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 सी सी सी। आई एम सॉरी फॉर द बैकग्राउंड, बट यहाँ अब थोड़ा सा स्पेस आ गया यहाँ पे। अब ये जो होगा ये यूज़र सिम्टम अगेन अपडेट हो गया सिम्टम्स। सो फाइनली मेरा इनपुट भी तैयार हो गया, ठीक है। अब ये मेरा इनपुट है, ठीक है। फर्स्ट आई एम टेकिंग फ्रॉम यूज़र सम symptoms, then I'm stripping, splitting, and also I'm going to list with this space, and finally I have this thing user symptoms। अब ये user symptoms मुझे बेचने हैं फंक्शन के अंदर। तो भाई साहब हमारे पास एक फंक्शन है जिसका नाम है get, ये मैंने रन नहीं किया, अच्छा ए बी बी सी सी, ये इसका कोई अलग सीन था। ओके, get predicted value, I'm calling this function and I'm passing these user symptoms to this patient symptoms। So user, just give me a second, let me check the record, just give me a second। अच्छा, अब मैंने क्या करना था user symptoms अब मैंने पास किए। अब होगा क्या कि जब मैं इस सेल को रन करूंगा तो यूज़र से इनपुट लेगा, ये सारा चीज़ें होने के बाद अब ये फाइनल जो यूज़र सिम्टम्स है ये जाएंगे इस फंक्शन के बाद और पलट के ये मुझे कोई डिजीज़ बताएगा और वो डिजीज़ मैं यहाँ पे गेट करता हूँ, जिसको मैं नाम देता हूँ प्रिडिक्टेड डिजीज़, ठीक है। तो लेट्स ट्राई कि मैं एक पेशेंट हूँ जो कि मुझे ईचिंग है, मुझे स्किन रैश है और मुझे शिवरिंग है, स्किन रैश एंड शिवरिंग। सो अब फाइनली रिज़ल्ट इसके पास है, तो चले चेक करते हैं कि इसके पास है क्या प्रेडिक्टेड डिजीज़। तो इसके पास है फंगल इन्फेक्शन। आप चाहो तो आप और भी ट्राई कर सकते हो, लेट्स ट्राई सम मोर्स लाइक लेट मी रन। अब आप इस सेल को जस्ट रन कर लेना, बाकी की ज़रूरत नहीं है। सो लेट्स से मुझे हम नोडल, ये एक सिम्टम है, तो मुझे आइडिया नहीं है किस टाइप का सिम्टम्स है, बट यहाँ नोडल स्किन एरप्शन और मुझे है चील्स, जैसे कि करंटली मुझे है, सी दिस इज चील्स, ओके। एंड आई हैव लेट्स से स्लीपिंग, एक सिम्टम है बहुत ज़्यादा सोना, लेट मी ऐड कपल ऑफ मोर लाइक मुझे याद नहीं आ रहे। मैं कुछ सिम्टम्स यहाँ से भी तो उठा सकता हूँ, लेट मी चेक कपल ऑफ सिम्टम्स रैंडम, आई एम टेकिंग रैंडमली। एसिडिटी भी है, मुझे स्टमक पेन भी है, एसिडिटी स्टमक पेन, एंटर, एंड देयर इज एन एरर। अच्छा, अब ये मज़े की बात ये है कि अगर आपका स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक हो तब भी ये आपको एरर देता है, इसको हम हैंडल करेंगे क्योंकि मैं रैंडमली यहाँ से कुछ उठा लेता हूँ सिम्टम्स लाइक दिस सिम्टम्स। वो मैंने एक नोडल स्किन एरप्शंस स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक एरर था। अब ये सिम्टम्स आप अपने रियल सिम्टम्स देना, जो भी सिम्टम्स आपको है वो देना, ठीक है। सो मैं यहाँ से इसको ऐसे ही करता हूँ लाइक दिस, oops, and like this। जॉइंट पेन जो घुटनों में दर्द होता है उसे कहते हैं चिल्स, मैं बता चुका हूँ। शिवरिंग का मतलब एक कांपना, सर्दी हो जाना। तो देखते हैं कि मॉडल ने क्या प्रेडिक्ट किया है। एलर्जी, अमेजिंग, बिल्कुल एलर्जी डिजीज़ होना भी चाहिए क्योंकि ये देखो एसिडिटी, चिल्स एंड शिवरिंग ऐसे सिम्टम्स है जो बिल्कुल रिप्रेजेंट करता है एलर्जी को। जॉइंट पेन रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करता है, स्टमक पेन भी। स्टमक पेन, एसिडिटी, चिल्स एंड शिवरिंग, दिस आर द सिम्टम्स दैट एक्चुअली रिप्रेजेंट एलर्जी। सो परफेक्ट। अब करते हैं एक आखिरी काम, वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट द एक्चुअल सिस्टम, ओके। सो what I can do now, the actual system will be very simple. Ab I have some databases, okay, So I have this final disease, okay, this one, this disease. मेरे पास एक डेटा है जिसका नाम है डिस्क्रिप्शन. दिस इज माई डेटा. सो I'll use filtering method in pandas. I have a complete playlist of pandas. If you have learned that playlist, then you must know what is filtering. फिल्टरिंग के अंदर हम डेटा के अंदर घुस के डेटा के अंदर घुसते हैं, डेटा के अंदर जाके डेटा के अंदर घुसते हैं. ये आसान भाषा में फिल्टरिंग है कि वो आपके अंदर एक कॉलम है जिसका मतलब है, जिसका नाम है डिजीज़, वो निकलवाओ. और अगर ये डिजीज़ इक्वल टू जो मेरे मॉडल ने प्रेडिक्ट किया है, प्रेडिक्टेड डिजीज, उस लोकेशन पे पड़ा जो डिस्क्रिप्शन है वो निकलवाओ. एंड दिस डिस्क्रिप्शन इज दिस डिस्क्रिप्शन. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन, ये जो डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला डेटा है इसके अंदर जाके उसका डिजीज वाला कॉलम निकाला, यानी 1 by 1 फंगल, एलर्जी, गुड, एंड चेक कि अगर ये इक्वल टू एलर्जी है, माई प्रेडिक्टेड डिजीज, देन टेक द कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग डिस्क्रिप्शन. सो लेट्स सी. ये देखो एलर्जी वाला मैंने निकलवा दिया क्योंकि हमारा डिजीज इक्वल टू एलर्जी था. सो एलर्जी इज एन इम्यून सिस्टम रिएक्शन टू पूरा इसने नहीं दिखाया, बट ये पूरा एक डिस्क्रिप्शन होना चाहिए. सो मैं इसको कहता हूँ डिस्क्रिप्ट. सो डिस्क्रिप्ट. सो दिस इज आर एलर्जी डिस्क्रिप्शन. आगे और भी हैं. ओके अब ये हम एक लूप के थ्रू निकलवाएंगे, बट अभी के लिए आपने देखा कि हम किस तरह डिस्क्रिप्शन भी निकलवा सकते हैं. सेकंड थिंग वी विल टेक प्रिकॉशन. सो आई हैव दिस डेटा सेट प्रिकॉशन वाला, डिजीज कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग प्रिकॉशन. तो इसके अंदर जाके प्रिकॉशंस, अच्छा अगर प्रिकॉशन से पहले मैं यहाँ पे आपको बताऊँ, जो हमारे पास डिस्क्रिप्शन आया था डिस्क्रिप्ट, तो यू कैन क्लियरली सी हमारे पास ये डिस्क्रिप्शन है, ठीक है ये. सो मैं क्या करूँगा, इसको स्ट्रिंग से, एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग से ज्वाइन करूँगा ताकि मैं चीज़ें देख सकूँ लाइक दिस. तो उसके लिए आप ज्वाइन फंक्शन लगाते हो लाइक दिस. ओके बट इसके अंदर मैं एक लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का यूज़ करके, यानी एक्चुअली आई एम गोइंग टू यूज़ instead of this thing I am going to use a loop, w for w in description, जो कि मेरा डिस्क्रिप्शन है. सो अब देख, अब इसने पूरा निकलवा दिया, ठीक है, अब बढ़िया है, सही है. और अब ये हो जाएगा डिस्क्रिप्शन. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द अदर. इट्स एक्चुअली प्रिकॉशन के अंदर जाके प्रिकॉशन का जो डिजीज वाला कॉलम है, अगर वो इक्वल टू माई डिजीज़, मेरे मॉडल का डिजीज़, दैट इज़ क्या नाम था, प्रेडिक्टेड डिजीज़, तो ये उसका पूरा आ रहा है, उसके ये तमाम निकलवाओ. तो मैं क्या करूँगा, यहाँ पे लिस्ट ऑफ लिस्ट पास करूँगा, जिसमें कहूँगा कि प्रिकॉशन _1 now I am going to take this one precaution _2. अभी के लिए जस्ट लेट्स सी. सो ये देखो, ये मैंने दोनों निकलवा दिए हैं. ओके अब लेट्स आल्सो टेक अदर precaution three and finally precaution 4. ठीक है, कोई मिस्टेक किया, स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक. आई थिंक प्रिकॉशन 2, प्रिकॉशन 3, प्रिकॉशन, या देयर इज अ स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक. ओके दैट्स, लेट मी चेक मैंने कहाँ पे पंगा किया है. अगर मैं पहले ये पूरा निकलवाऊँ तो देखना, प्रिकॉशन 1, प्रिकॉशन 2, प्रिकॉशन 3, प्रिकॉशन 4 और मेरी बैटरी लो हो गई. सो तो मैंने चार्ज पे लगवा दिया असल में. सो प्रिकॉशन, अब मैं एक काम करता हूँ, इनको एक वेरिएबल में स्टोर करता हूँ. अच्छा ये एरर क्यों आ रहा है? डिजीज इक्वल टू प्रेडिक्टेड डिजीज, मैं सोच रहा था कि कुछ और है। लेट मी चेक। प्रिकॉशन अगेन स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक। इट शुड बी, ए शुड बी बिफोर, तो लाइक दिस। सो हमारे पास ये प्रिकॉशन है। अगर मैं यहाँ पे दिखाऊँ लाइक दिस, तो ये प्रिकॉशन हमारे पास आ गए। अब मैं एक लूप चलाऊँगा हम अगेन लिस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, जो कि क्या करेगा, कॉलम उठाएगा। फॉर कॉल इन प्रीकॉशन डॉट वैल्यूज। मुझे ये कॉलम थोड़ी दिखाने हैं, मुझे ये वैल्यू दिखाने हैं। अब ठीक है ना, और इसको मैं स्टोर करता हूँ प्री में, ठीक है। तो ये सेम बाकियों के लिए भी मुझे करना है। तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, इन सबको यहाँ से हटा ही देता हूँ। एक जुगाड़ लगाऊंगा। जुगाड़ ये है कि ये जो ऊपर फंक्शन है ना, ये फंक्शन, इससे ऊपर एक और फंक्शन डिफाइन करूंगा, क्योंकि ये हमारा प्रॉपर सिस्टम होगा। लेट मी कॉल इट हेल्पर फंक्शन, ठीक है। इसको मैं हेल्पर फंक्शन कहता हूँ। सो डेफ हेल्पर, इसके पास एक डिजीज आएगा। प्लीज दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो इस फंक्शन के पास एक डिजीज आएगा, और ये हर बार जितने भी डेटा सेट है हमारे पास, जैसे कि यहाँ पे वी परफॉर्म्ड, इट विल टेक डाइट्स, वर्कआउट्स, डिस्क्रिप्शन फॉर दैट स्पेसिफिक डिजीज। लेट मी शो यू, ओके, जस्ट सी नाउ। So what I have done, I have already that function, so मैंने just वो copy किया। Now def helper, it will take a disease. After that we are doing the same thing. So first we are going into description disease. If the disease that located within the description, if it is equal to our disease is this one, then take the description, and this is the description, okay, the same thing again। precaution के अंदर जाके precaution का disease, if it is equal to our disease, then take all the precaution for that corresponding disease and store it within this, okay, this is the same part। Again go medication, if equal to disease, then take the medication part and take the values of the medication, and this is the medication। And same for workout, same for diet and workout, and this function will return description, this one, precaution, medication, and diet, okay। Now what we have to do, we have to, when we call, we are going to call this function, we are getting only predicted disease. This is true, right? We are going only the model predicted disease. So after predicting disease, what we can do, we can simply, just let me copy this part, मैं समझाऊंगा। I'll explain everything from scratch. Let me set up things. We are right here, okay, we are right here। So I am going to call helper function, and within helper I'll pass predicted disease, ठीक है। So I am going to, first I have taken input from user, then the same splitting stripping, after that I call get predicted value। तो क्या होगा, ये यूजर का जो इनपुट है, दिस फाइनल इनपुट, इट विल बी राइट हियर within this। from that we are taking disease name, if model predicted 16, that we will get GERD, and that GERD will be within this, okay, predicted disease। and after that I am calling helper function and sending that disease, okay। So helper function, this is the helper function। it will take the disease, predicted disease, and after that it will give for that specific disease all these things, and I will get all these things right here। So I have taken all these things right here। so if I run this thing and this thing, अच्छा एक काम मैं और करता हूँ, maybe let me compare all the data set। this data set is not important, remove it। so we have precaution, so let me copy precaution, maybe because I just copy paste, so spelling mistake, precaution। after that description, okay, workout, before workout medications, so I have medication spelling right, diets, but where is the workout? Okay, workout is there. Diets and workouts I have. So diets, workout, everything are okay, everything are perfect. Okay, now give me couple of input, like I'm going randomly. Okay, itching, coughing, sleeping. It will be fungal symptoms. There is an error. Itching. Okay, again, you don't need to do spelling mistake. Itching, sleeping, coughing. Spelling mistake is very important. Again, I think I did a spelling mistake. Sleeping. We will handle that. Okay, we will handle that later, but let me give couple of symptoms like itching, skin rash. Turn off this. Again, what is going on? Name description is not defined. The error is in the top function. It says that name description is okay. It should be description. Now hopefully description itching, coughing. Again error. So let's see where I made error. Coughing. Again we don't have coughing. Okay, itching, skin rash. So we get result. So let's see what we get actually. So we have predicted disease. This is a predicted disease, and after that I am going to predict this thing: disc, pre, med, die, workout, all these things. Description. This is the description. Fungal infection. Fungal infection is a common skin condition caused by fungi. And after that I am going to print precautions. So these are the precaution: batch twice, use Dettol or neem in bathing water. I'll fix that a bit later. So let's fix one by one. Okay, so before printing let's make it beautiful, or what we can do, we can do it right here. Results printing. Okay, I'll explain everything. Okay, so print. Now within this print I'll write predicted disease, print. This is a predicted disease. After that I want description like this, and print yani description. After that it should be like this. Precautions, like this, and print. So oops, again I have to type itching, skin rash. So yeah, you can clearly see this is the disease, predicted disease, and this is the description, and this is the precautions. Now here in precaution you can clearly see it's not perfect, so I'll run a loop. Here, right here. So just let me show you here. For precaution I in precaution at 0, then print pi etching skin rash. Now there bath twice actually it predicted disease. It should be right here, not there. I'm sorry for that. There should be description and there should be listing for. So itching skin rash. Now perfect, but I want also count 1 bar twice, 2 this line, 3 this line. For that it's very simple. I have a variable. Let me define a variable by 0, or you can call it count. And after that I'll print I here, and let's give a space like this, and after that I'll increment I. So let's see, itching skin rash. Now perfect, 0, okay, it should be 1 actually. Okay, let's do the same for that should be precautions. After precaution we have medication. So let's do the same for medication. Let me copy this part, Control C, Control V. This should be medications, and there should be med, and there should be mi like this. So itching skin rash. So yeah, we are getting predicted disease, that is fungal infection. We are getting description, fungal infection is a common skin, and we are getting its precaution, bath twice, use Dettol or neem in bathing water, keep infected area dry, use clean clothes. Okay, what is going on with this part? Actually I can't use here this thing, I think, because it's a list of list array. Skin brush. Okay, now it's a list, single list, but still it's not perfect. We will see that later. Let's do the same for workout. So again, let me print this part, Control C, copy this part, and just paste it, Control V, and here I can say workout. Here we have workout. Okay, what was that? Workout wi itching skin rash. Now let me check workout. So these are the workout. Avoid sugary foods, consume probiotics or what, increase intake of garlic, include yogurt in diet, limit processed foods, stay hydrated, ज़्यादा पानी पी. तो बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया रिजल्ट दे रहा है. अब ये मैं एक ही स्किन रेश और उस पे कर रहा हूँ, एचिंग एंड स्किन रेश पे टाइम सेव करने के लिए. आप डिफरेंट सिम्टम्स चेक करना, या आपको डिफरेंट रिजल्ट देगा. यू विल गेट डिफरेंट रिजल्ट ऑफ बाय गिविंग डिफरेंट सिम्टम्स, but for time being I'm just using the same. So finally we have diet, I think. Let me check. Finally we have workout, we have diet. This is actually diet, so let's do that for diet. Diet. I'll explain the above all code. Okay, D die, not die, it should be died, but yeah, let me type die. Yeah, so itching skin rash, or let's type some other. This time let's type some others. Let me take some from last. I have these symptoms, this 4 or 5 symptoms. Let me copy this, Control C, and like this. So I have spotting urination, and I have burning micturition. I don't know what actually it is. Biology names are really complicated to honestly speaking. So I have vomiting, blah, vomiting, burning, jalna, जैसे कि bacteriation, spotting, urination, something like, I don't know, but let's try it out. So I run it and there is an error because the error was this 10 in input. So let me, because I forgot, I think, by removing, we will handle this error because this is very important in website when we will be creating website. So now predicted disease is drug reaction. Definitely if you are vomiting, if you are burning, if you have spots, urination, it's mean that you are taking drug reaction. You have a disease or you have infection of drug reaction, and the description of drug reaction is drug reaction occurs when the body reacts adversely to a medication. Perfect, really perfect. Stop irritation. These are the precautions. Consult nearest hospital. Stop taking drug. Follow up. Okay, and these are the medication. These medication are exactly for a drug reaction. You have to take antihistamines or whatever it is, epinephrine, corticosteroids. You know, biology names are very difficult. Antibiotics, antifungal cream. So these are the medication. और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि हमारे पास वी हैव आल्सो वर्कआउट. ओके, discontinue offending medication, stay hydrated, include anti-inflammatory foods, consume antioxidants, avoid trigger foods, include omega-3 fatty acid limit, and finally we have diet. Now these are the diets. Okay, antihistaminic diet, omega-3 rich foods, vitamin C rich foods, quercetin rich foods, probiotics. Okay, so amazing, it's working perfect. And let me explain all these things again. So what we have done in this simple notebook, firstly we have these imports. हमने data को import किया. Then we have checked some preprocessing, like simple preprocessing. Then we have trend test splitter, and we have trained top 5 models, and we got amazing result for each one. But we selected support vector classifier, then we saved support vector classifier, then we imported the save model. Now this is the production code. Okay, first we check for single input, and then we create a complete recommendation system. So here what we are going, here what we are going, first I imported all my research based database, precautions, workout, description, medication, diets. Then I've created a function by the name of get predicted values, but I needed 132 shape, so I created 132 list or array with empty zeros. And after that I get patient symptoms. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5. Then I take that one by one and pass it to my input vector with symptoms dictionary, because in symptom dictionary I have exactly the same symptoms, and give it a name. If it is located within that list, then give it 1, because 1 represent that symptoms is existed or located in that list. After that I predicted for my SVC model, predict the input vector entire list. He return the disease, but it will either, if the model predicted disease is fungal infection, then it will be 15. So I don't want 15, I want fungal infection. That's why I pass this entire prediction system into disease list. Okay, and After that I take input from user, then splitting, stripping, then I call that get predicted user symptom. It will be right here. After all these things, it will be give a single disease, like if it is fungal infection, that it will be fungal infection. Now I want recommendation, so that's why I pass this predicted disease to helper function, predicted disease, and my helper function is right here. And helper function take this disease and taking from disease the description for that corresponding disease and storing here, then taking 4 precaution for that predicted disease and there, and taking medication from that for that corresponding disease and they are storing. Same thing goes with darts and workout and returning these 4 or 5 things, and I'm getting these 4 or 5 things right here. Oh, there, where? Right here I'm taking this, getting there. After that I'm just predicting the model predicted result and description that I get here from helper function, precaution, medication, diet and workout. As simple as that. Now one thing, import scikit-learn, sklearn, very important part. Mostly students ask me that I have this error, I have this error, so import sklearn. After that print sklearn dot underscore version underscore. Now we have trained our model on 1.3.2 scikit-learn. If in your case it is 1.10.0 or 10.14 or whatever version it is, you have to use exact that version in PyCharm. So अब मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं PyCharm को open करता हूँ. Now I will open PyCharm where we will install exactly this version. In your case, if you have 10.14.10, then you have to install. I'll show. So let's do that.
So मैंने PyCharm open किया है. Now in PyCharm you need to create couple of folders because it's very important. So I have this folder, medicine recommendation system. Within medicine recommendation system, first you need to create a virtual environment. Now I hope you must have idea that how to create virtual environment in PyCharm. Okay, after that you need to create, just right click on this folder, go to new and go to directory, and there create a folder by the name of data sets. Now within data set put all the data set that I have shared in the below link. First the training data, after that all the other data set like description.csv, diets.csv, medication.csv, precaution, symptoms and workout. Okay, just put all in data set folder. After that create another folder by the name of models, in which save the C support vector classifier pkl file that we have saved. Okay, actually the file, and create another folder by the name of static, and in which put this image. I have shared this image with you, just put this image in the static folder. Okay, this is the logo for our website. Now what I'll do, I'll go to medicine recommendation, right click, go to new and go to Python file, and I'll create here main.py file. Okay, this is the file in which we will do all the backend code. We will be using Flask framework for backend. Okay, now first of all you need to go to your terminal and install all the packages that we need for our development. So here first type pip install Flask, 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 and enter. The moment you will enter, it will be installed, because I have already installed, so I'll ignore this part. After that type again pip install scikit-learn. Here you have to type scikit-learn equal to the specific version that I have shown in the notebook. I think it was 1.3.2 or something, or whatever. In your case, whatever it is, just install that one in the same way. And also install numpy and pandas. Numpy, and you need to install pandas. Once you install all these packages, because I have already installed, so I'm not going to do it again, but you have to do it. After that just import from Flask import, there is a class with capital F, Flask, and the request I'll show, and I'll explain all these functions of Flask framework, and render template. So for now just import Flask request render template from Flask. Okay, after that create here Flask app. We create app with this object, capital F, actually this F. Within this you have to pass a built-in command by the underscore name. Now this app is created. Actually this is the object of Flask. We have created object of Flask class. Now I can play with this app. So what I can do, I'll create here Python main. In Python main, how we create Python main? We say that if name equal to oops, name equal to underscore main, then just give me a second, and let me check the recording. Yeah, and within this call this app. So what you have to just call this app and then run, and debugger will be true. I'll explain all these things. So currently you have to create all these things. Don't need to understand, but type all these things. Okay, exactly the same. Now I am going to create another directory. So right click, go to new and click on directory by the name of templates. Now in Python Flask frameworks, as I said that we are going to create a website, so we are dealing with web development. So for web development we need HTML files. So Flask gives you this folder, templates. Keep in mind exact spelling, TEMP. A lot of student types comment and says that templates not found error. Actually you have typed a wrong misspelled template. This is a built-in you can say that this is a built-in folder for Flask. So exactly this spelling, templates. Now on template right click, go to new and go to HTML. So the first I am going to create here index.html. After that I will create another, go to HTML and I'll create contact.html, and I'll create another HTML file by the name of we have about.html, and we have developer also. So I'll create another page, developer, like this, developer.html, and I also need to create another one. I have about, contact, developer, index, and the last one will be blog.html. Now I am going to go to your Chrome browser and open Bootstrap. Now in web development for front end working will be using Bootstrap. Actually Bootstrap is a online tool that will make your work easy, especially web development part, front end part. So just copy this thing. Okay, startup template, it is called startup template, and go to index, and I'll copy it in index, I'll copy it in contact, select all and paste. Also do the same in about part and developer part, right, and also do it in blog.html. तो ये सब करने के बाद अब मैंने वापस आना इंडेक्स में, but let me close the other one like this, and let me also check the recording because sometimes it stopped internally. Maybe there is an issue, but I don't know why. So this is hello world. In hello world I'll say simply health care center. Okay, and I will add here a class. This is actually a Bootstrap class, text center. For now if I open it, the text centers mean that I am going to, let me show you this healthcare. I want in center, not here. So first what we will do, we will work on this nav bar. This is actually nav bar. Okay, and this nav bar, first we will put logo, then we will type this health center, then we will create names, home names, about, contact names, developer names, blog names. Okay, so first we are going to work on this. For that I'll go to Bootstrap, and within Bootstrap if I scroll down in components, keep in mind in components you'll see a nav bar. Click on this nav bar. Okay, and within nav bar just copy this one. Okay, this nav bar. Okay, this nav bar, copy this one, and I'll go to my index, and before h1 within body
I'll add a comment. This is nav bar control / so that it could be commented out, and after that I'll paste these things. Now you will see a lot of things, but we will make it easy. I'll remove couple of things. Okay, let me run this so that we can see what is going on. For now I am not going to run this app from Flask. I'll run it directly from here. So click on this Chrome option in your Python, and this is my Bootstrap demo. Currently I have this white color navbar and this healthcare center. So I'll change these things, and I'll also change the color of my navbar. So let's see. If I go to the top of my navbar actually starts from here. Honestly speaking, let me check record again. Perfect. So this is the navbar that is start from here. This is the built-in class that is coming from Bootstrap. So I'll just change here this part. Okay, now here I'll say that nav bar dark and space. I'm using some Bootstrap classes, and bg will be dark. So if I go to my nav bar, as you can see now it's dark. After that, there you will see within a there is a class. Don't need to change this, but change this nav bar to what was the name of my website? Let me check. Health center. Give it a name by a health center. Okay, and yeah, so after that this is home. Okay, and here I will, in href I will use index, meaning that if someone click on home link, on this home link, I will be within this index. Okay, this is the meaning of this. And I will remove all these things from here. I don't need it. Like this one, I remove this, and instead of link I'll say that, let me check. We have about contact developer blog. Okay, about contact. So I'll say this is about. Also you need to give it here / about, and I will copy this, Control C, Control V, and there instead of about I'll say contact, and also there will be contact. Again paste Control V, and I'll change just I think this should be developer, and developer, and again paste the same thing, and from about this time it should be, I think, blog. So let me check. If I go to my one, now we have home, about, contact, developer, blog. Perfect. So now here I'll put an image. Now as I told you that you must have in your entire directory, you must have a folder by the name of static, and within static put that image that I have shared with you. Just do that, nothing else. So we have this neighbor. Okay, you don't need to focus on the development part, that how I to remember all these classes. You don't need that. Okay, with the passage of time you will remember all these things, but for now just follow, and yeah, just follow. So now what I can do, right after this button, okay, or I think I want to add image. So the image will be after this or before this. Yeah, before this health center. I will add here my div. This is my div. Okay, and I will give my class by the name of logo, because I will use also custom CSS, and within this I'll use image tag, and within image source, in source, as I told you that I am using an image from static directory. So in Flask, if you want to display image on front end, then you have to use Jinja template syntax. So this is Jinja template syntax, and here you have to pass URL, and within URL for, and after that you have to use open and close small brackets, and within that you have to type single quote open, single quote close, and within that you have to write static meaning this directory, and go outside the single quote and press comma, and after that write file name equal to what is the name of your file, that is image.png. This is the syntax, and you don't need to remember the syntax. What you have to do in the image tag within source, type two open curly braces, two close curly braces. After that type URL for and type open and close small bracket, and within this small brackets type static file name and image.png, because in static if I say my image is image.png. Perfect. Now let's see what is going on. Currently it will, if I roll, it will not be displaying because I have opened it directly from here. But if I open this from Flask, then you'll see the image. So let's do that. So what I can do, but just let me check the recording. Before going to main.py Flask wala part, let me add here a custom class that I'll be using in custom CSS. So let me give it a name by my image. Okay, so keep in mind in nav we have this part. On this part we will do our custom CSS. Other things are perfect. Now I'll go to main.py. Now after app I will create roots. So what is root? How to create root? You have to type @ after that app, actually this app dot root, and here you have to give the path. So currently I want, the moment I open app, I want to open index.html, so I'll keep it empty. After that you can create a function. Let me create by the name of index. Now it's not necessary to give it exactly the name of the page that you want to go, as I want to go to index.html the moment I open the app. So here you can change the name, doesn't matter. Now in index I'll say return render template, and with the render template you have to give index.html. Render template is used to help you in navigation, as we are dealing with web app and we have a front end, and in front end we have navs, nav bars, or you can see we have links. So in Flask, if you want that when someone click on home, and if you want to go to home, then here you have to in home we have index. So if you want to go to index, then here from backend you have to create root. After that you have to create a function and you have to return that part, and for returning that part you have to click render template. This render template will redirect you to the index page. That's the flow. Now I will right click. I am going to right click within the main.py, right click and run man. Now here you will see a link. Just click on this. This is a URL actually. Now here we have something, template syntax error unexpected char. So there is an error. Let's see. Rendered index.html. Just let me check. I think I have met some. Okay, the error is in this part. Let's see. Just let me check, then I'll show. So I have used source URL for static file name. I think it's right, but why source URL for static to see the recording? Yeah, give me a second. Let me check the template's name. Yeah, it's perfect. And here we have a root. So the error is here. If I comment out this part, this is the Jinja template, and if I go to here and reload it,
we have in render template index.html error. Let me check the index. If I go to template, within template I have index.html, and yeah, it's I don't know where is I made a mistake, but let's see. Clearly unexpected char. Okay, this character. Okay. Let's see. The issue is even though I commented it, but it didn't reload it, I think. Okay, I forgot. As you can see here, this single quote after that image.png, you have to type here this thing. Okay, so this syntax is very necessary. Keep in mind, you don't need to miss anything. A single thing, if you miss a single thing, that you will definitely get an error. So if I reload, let's see if it's working or not. Okay, so we got it, but it's quite big. It's quite a big image. Let's work on the nav bar. So as I have this div logo and my image, so what I can do, I'll use a custom CSS. Okay, I'll use a custom CSS so that it could make things perfect for me. So for custom CSS, either you create a separate file or you can directly use inline CSS. So what I can do, before body, I'll use style tag. For CSS we use style tag, and here I'll call the logo class of my div, and within that I'll use some properties, like I'll make the width of the div 50 pixel and height can be also 50 pixel, and I can also give it a color like black. I'm just working on the div, not the image. Okay, and margin top will be 0 and margin left will be 2. I'll show all these things. Margin left will be 2, yeah, like this. I will also work on the other class, that was my image. In my image I'll do the same things, because my image is within this div. This is the div actually I'll show. So let me copy these things, Control C and Control V, and here I'll remove the color because image don't need color, and but I'll also remove these two things because I have already done in the div, but I can, let me show you first, then we will do something else. So actually I worked on this logo, I mean, and this entire div. After that I worked on this image. So if I go to now reload it, now the image becomes very small, quite good, but I wanted goal circle. Okay, तो गोल बनाने के लिए आपको करना क्या होगा, within my image you have to use border radius, or first you need to use border. Let's create border. I want a border with 2 pixel, solid, and let's give it a color. Let's black border, and border radius will help you in goal, in circle. If you want to create something circle like, then you can use in CSS border radius. So 25 pixel, let's see, we will change. If let me reload, now it's good. So yeah, this is our nav bar. So nav bar is ready, but I'll also create roots for this. Currently I am in home. This is actually index. If I click on this, okay, I didn't create yet. If I click on about, it will give you no found URL because I didn't create root for it. Also for contact, developer and blog. So I'll go to main and I'll copy these parts. Control C, Control V, right? And here I'll give it, if I also open index, and within index if I go to my nav bar, first I have index, then I have about. So let me give it about. Now here you have to give specifically the root name about, and function name should be about, and also I want to go to about. So now if I go and reload it,
I will click on about hello world, because in about I have also, let me open about. In about I have hello world. Let me write here, this is about. Let me also change the title, about. This is about. अगर मैं अभी reload कर दो, this is about, you can go back. Okay, now the moment I click on contact developer block, do the same. So very simple, just copy paste, copy this thing, control C, control V, control V, control V. So that was about के बाद we have contact. I'll also change the function to contact, and I also want to go to contact page, meaning this one, contact. We have also blog, so blog, and blog, and finally we have developer. So developer, I think, yeah. So let's see, let me reload, and contact, and about didn't working. I think the link, this link has been destroyed. So what I can do, I'll run it again, and there is, okay, that's because I have also to change about to developer, because I have already about function. So you don't need to duplicate the function name, because I already have about. It doesn't mean that if you have their root is developer, there must be developer, but this thing can be changed, a b c, it doesn't matter. But the error was because I have already a function by the name of about. So that's why it says, the error said that you overwrite a function. Okay, view function, these are actually view functions. So I'll give it a name. I want to keep things structured and easy for me, that's why I'm giving same names. These two things must be similar with this. Okay, and also here in index, the names, these things must be similar. As you can see here, we have blog, developer, contact, about, and here these things are similar. And if I go to view function, we have similar. But one thing keep in mind, this contact and this contact, actually it will give an error, because there should be small c, d must be small, b must be small. So these names, these file names, and these names and these names must be similar, otherwise the function name could be changed. But now duplicated function, let's say there you have about, there should not be about. So let me run it again. Now this time we'll see. So let me click on the URL, let me close the other page. Yeah, so if I go to blog, perfect, it's working. If I go to developer, perfect, it's working, because I didn't change the name. So if I open the other pages like blog, contact, developer, so currently I'm in contact, so let me give it contact, and it should be developer, about was I think done, so index also done, contact also done, and we have to change for blog. I just want to show things, otherwise I'll change all these things later. So I just want to show you that how it works. So but first let me check the recording again, because sometimes it stops internally, I don't know why, but yeah, it's happening with me. So let me reload, and if I click to about, I am in about. If I click in contact, I am in contact. If I go to developer, I'll be in developer. If I go to blog, I'll be in blog section. So now what we will do, we will create this form. Okay, we will work on this form right after healthcare center, and we will also work to create these things. Okay, so for that, let's go to Python. Let me minimize it. uh, Close all other if you want. uh, Let me close, but keep just index.html. Now in index, right after nav bar, where is the nav bar? This is the nav bar. Right after nav bar, and after this title, I'll add a div, a bootstrap div dot container. This is a class, and within this div I can add form, and action will be predict. I'll show that later, that why we, and method will be post. For now just follow me, we will see that later. So let me maximize so that you can see things, and also let's make it full view. Yeah, now it's perfect. Okay, so let's beautify this div, but before beautifying this div, I'll create another div within form, with the class form group. These are some built-in bootstrap classes, and within this I'll create a label, and for will be symptoms, where I'll text symptoms, but in this label I'll just give it a message that select or type. Let's say type, not select. Type symptoms. I think it's good. And after that I'll give it input with the class of form control, like this. Instead of text, yeah, it should be text. Type should be text. Class will be form control. And after that I'll add name symptoms. This is very important in backend. This will help a lot in main.py. And let's add placeholder, use symptoms like just for user, just to say record, yeah, itching, like vomiting, like coughing, like this. So if I go to my this one page and reload it, now I have this form. Okay, now this, here you can see use symptoms like itching, vomiting, coughing. This is just for simplicity for the user. That's why I use placeholder. This is the label and this is the input. Okay, but I want to make the background black, so I'll work on div, because everything's are placed within container, right? So first I'll give it margin top will be 4. This is the built-in class from Bootstrap, and my will be 4, and text within the entire, but I don't want the text. And after that I'll use here inline CSS. So I'll add style, background will be black, color will be white. Let me show you. Now it's black. I also want to give some border radius and some padding. So border radius, let's say 15 pixel, and padding could be 40 pixel. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Let me reload. Yeah, now it's good, it looks good. Now here we will add a button. So for that, what I can do, first let me change the title. Here it's this title I'm talking about, actually this title, boots, instead of Bootstrap, I'll say that health care center, like this. So yeah, okay, so we were here. Now outside this div before the form, I'll add br break, and after that I'll use button, or yeah, I should use button. So I was thinking to do some more styling, but I think it's enough. It's perfect. So this is the button, and I'll use here a class by the name of btn danger. These are built-in classes for button from Bootstrap. So if I check now this small button, so let's make it beautiful. So here I will say that you can give it like your name, like you can give it a name that predict or whatever it is. So let's say give it recommendations. It would be perfect. Now I'll also give some styling to this as well. So I'll use inline CSS. Now first I'll make the width 100%, because I want the button everywhere from here to here, the whole width of the div. That's why it will be 100. So next you can also give it padding, let's say 14 pixel, and margin bottom let's say 3%, or I don't know, let's say 3 pixel would be, or 5 pixel, let's say 5 pixel. So let's see the button. If you want to work on this text, you can also work on it. Let's say make it a bit bold. Text will be bold. If I reload now, no, I think font size, it's text font or font size. I honestly speaking, I don't remember this property, so let's remove it. Okay, so our form is ready. Now the moment user or patient type here vomiting, we will get, sorry, not vomiting, symptoms, we will get all these symptoms in main. And if you want to get symptoms in main, then we have input where user will type all the symptoms, and we will get all the symptoms by the name of, with the help of this name symptoms. So what I can do, I'll just copy this, right, and then I'll go to main. Within main, now I will create here, after the index wala root, I will create another root, app dot root, and here I'll give predict, because I in form I have predict path, action is predict. So here in root I have to give the path predict, and I'll create a function by the name of predict. Now this is the main function in which we will implement all our predictive recommendation system wala part, I mean the code. Okay, so in this predict function, first what I can do, first of all I'll get all the inputs from the input. So if request dot method equal to post. Now you might be thinking, what is this post and what is this request and what is this method? So here in the root you have to give comma methods. Keep in mind methods equal to square bracket post or get. Now in form we have method post. Now post and get are the method that are used for getting taking inputs, meaning like getting input from front end and passing it to the backend, or take it from backend passing it to the front end. So for that we use mostly methods post and get for security purposes. So we will work on in form we have post, so here we must have form. So if the method is post, then you have to go forward. Okay, and here we have to take all the symptoms from user, not from user, actually from the form. So how to get it? You have to type here request dot form values. We have a lot of methods, I'll show that, but instead of form values I'll use here directly form and get, and within here you have to give exactly this thing, this symptom. Now you might be thinking, what is this symptom? This symptom is actually this name. I am asking front end that please give me whatever user type in this input with the help of these symptoms. So with the help of symptoms I am using a request that was imported from Flask. This request, let me import couple of things more, like numpy as np. Also let's import pandas as pd because we are going to load dataset. Also import pickle because we are going to load the same model. Okay, here I will load databases. Oops, I'm sorry. Here I will load databases, and here I will load model like this. A bit later, but first let's work right here. So after getting symptoms, I hope you get the idea that what this part is doing. After getting symptoms, what we can do? We will do exactly the same like in notebook in the last recommendation part. So in models I have a notebook, the same notebook. I'm going to open it right here. You can directly do it from there, but I can directly open it here. So if I I think this is the another notebook. So what I can do, I'll go to the code that I have used. Actually this is the GitHub code that I have shared with you in the video. The moment you click on the link, you will get all the files right here. Okay, so I have opened the notebook so that I just copy the last part. Actually I'm going to which part I was supposed to take. I was supposed to take this part. Okay, this part, control C. Now I'll explain. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain. I'll go to main.py, and right after that I'll paste this code because I get symptoms from the front end. Now after that I'll remove this thing. After that I'll do exactly the same, where I have splitted the symptoms by comma and stripping, and after that I have removed extra characters again by using this strip from the user symptoms, actually this one, and finally I get that user symptom. This is actually the final clean user input or the symptoms. Now I will pass this symptom to the get predicted value function. So exactly I'll copy exactly this function, this part, because I need both. Now I'm using exactly the same code. I don't want to repeat it again, otherwise the video will get lengthy. It's already lengthy. So right here I'll add a comment custom. Yeah, I think I have already. So let me zoom out so that you can see things easily like this. So here I will also load the data sets. So let's go to copy that part as well. I have already this data set. Let me check that if I saved the pickle. Yeah, I have this one. So let me load the data sets right here. I'll paste this thing, all exactly the same part, exactly the same. Now I'll also load the save support vector model. So let me check recording. Honestly speaking, sometime it stops. So I just want to see, maybe it stopped and yeah. So I loaded the model using pickle, and I also loaded all the databases, and I have exactly the same two functions. One was the helper that was give me all the recommendation from the databases, exactly the same code, and one is the get predicted value, that is predict the disease. And after that I have this roots. Let me make it easy for you. I have all the roots, and now within this function, once I get this thing, I have passed to user you get predicted value, and from there what I'll get, first I'll get predicted disease, and this predicted, after that I pass this predicted disease to the helper function, and helper function is going to return me few things like description of the disease, precautions, medication, diet, and workout. Okay, now I'll simply pass these things to my front end. How to do that? Very simple. Here I'll simply return a render template, and within render template I can go to index.html, and after that I'll say that predicted disease will be predicted disease. I'll explain what I am doing. I'll explain a bit later. And this disease description will be equal to disc, and disease precaution will be equal to precautions, and we have also medication, so these medication will be equal to medication, and finally we have disease workout will be equal to workout. So actually, if you want to display things on front end, you have to pass it with the help of variables. So these are my variables. So what I have done, while moving to index.html, I have passed predicted disease to this variable predicted disease. Description, meaning this description, actually I have passed to disease description. The same thing goes for the other variable. Now I can simply use predicted disease, disease description, disease precaution, medication, and workout in front end with the help of Jinja template. I'll show that later. But if I go to this one, here we have couple of buttons. The moment we click on predict button, we get this thing. So let's work on this part in index.html.
But before proceeding, what we can do, let me show you these things that we are passing from here. Like once we get the predicted disease description, precaution, medication, and workout, how it looks like if I print them in index. But one thing more you should do is, all these data sets are coming from this folder. Okay, this folder data sets. So here, before the data name, you must give it like data sets and /. This is important. So let me copy and let me paste it before everyone like this, right? Because I know that all my data sets are present in this data sets folder, description, diets, all this. Okay, and also, though we have in models folder, we have support vector classifier. So while importing support vector classifier, you have to mention here model as folder. Okay, like this. Now they will not throw any error. Okay, so currently we are these things. Now let me run it again. Predicted disease, this should be changed to these. Okay, everything's perfect. Yeah, I will explain all these things a bit later, but I will explain the flow actually from front end to back end, and from back end to front end. But first let me run it again once.
So let me open it. So currently we have these things, okay, and this is the previous one, okay. So here what I can do, I am passing actually predicted disease, description, precaution. So in index after the form, I can print them. And if you want to print something in HTML file in using Python or Flask or Django, then you can use Jinja template. So we have predicted disease, okay, this one, not there. Let me, actually I'm printing this thing, this one. You have to exactly this variable, copy this variable and paste it right here. Actually let me print it in a tag so that it looks a bit better. So yeah, if I paste some, let me try it out. As you can see, fungal infection, it's printing here. So if I print control D, and after that I have D's description, then I have D's precaution, then I have D's for now. Let's see, there's this 3 1. So actually I just printed for now this variable, this variable, this variable. So if again, let me put some random symptoms. So yeah, I am getting bath twice. What was the third one? It's not printing actually, the third one, and the third one was this precaution. So in this way you can print things, but we will not print them like this. What we can do, the moment we click on this recommendation button, like here, the moment I click on this recommendation, I want further 5 button here to be displayed. Like here, the moment I clicked on prediction, I pop up all these things. So for that, what we can do, let me remove this part from here. Right after the form div, just below the form div, what you have to do, I will first create h1 tag where I'll add a class by the name of text center, and my, it should be center, margin top will be 4, and margin y will be just give me a second, 4, and this should be text center. And after that I will add a container, bootstrap div dot container, like this, okay, tab. And I'll also add I think actually here I will use another class of bootstrap, a result container, okay, a result container. Yeah, this is my actually container. In this I will create 5 buttons, okay, 5 buttons. So button 1 with the class of toggle button. This is a class from coming from bootstrap. I'll explain, just follow for now, okay. And I will add another thing, data base toggle, data bs toggle. This is attribute in HTML, and we will see why we are going to use it. And within that I will pass a value model, and you will see that what is model a bit later. After that I'll add data bs target, and there I will give ID. This is my ID. I'll give it a name, disease. Let me give any name, don't confuse yourself, we will see all these things in detail. So for now let's model it. Now in this button I'll write disease. This is my button. So if I reload my page, you will see it, you will see this is the disease button. So let's make it beautiful. Oops, let's make it beautiful. So what I can do, I'll use inline style, inline CSS. So
here what you can do, you can give padding. Let me do all the style, then we will see. Okay, so this is the button. We have a class toggle button, we have database toggle model, we have database target disease model. This is the ID that I'll be use a bit later. After that I add my custom style. Padding will be 4 pixel, margin will be 5 pixel, 40 pixel. In margin I have left, right, top, bottom, and font size will be 20. So these are some styling you know, and I'll type here disease. So just go to my page and load it. So now it's beautiful. So I will create 4 more buttons for description, precaution, description, medication, workout, and diet. So I'll do also that. So let's see. So I created all the buttons, okay, with the same classes, same attributes. Just I had changed database target. The first button will contain disease model, second description model, precaution model, medication model, workout model, and diets model. Now let me explain one by one, but first let me cut this entire div and let me pass this with another div by the name of container, because I want if I show currently my button is here because I didn't use container. I use result container. So within this container, bootstrap container class, I'll use the bootstrap result container. And also let me add rei doc results. Now the style part is same everywhere. The style part is same as we did for the first button. So why I use this database toggle, database target? You will understand these things a bit later, but what we can see, if I reload, we can see these things. Now they are perfect. But what I want actually, I want to display these things when I click on the recommendation button. So for that we can use logic in the sense, if I cut all these things from here, Control X, and if I use here this kind of syntax, if predicted disease, then in Jinja template we end if like this, and within this paste whatever I have cutted, right, like this. So what I want that when I click on the predicted button, then I will get the predicted disease. So it's mean that I don't want to see all these things before clicking on this button. That's why I use if check. Now if I reload, still I can see, but because I didn't now if I reload, I can't see anything because I didn't click on this. But if I click, if let me add couple of symptoms, now I can see. So here I use actually Jinja template. This is Jinja template, and I hope you must have any idea about Jinja template. We use Jinja template when we want to implement Python code in web development. Now this is HTML file. You can't use any programming language in HTML file, but Python is the best. So we can do by using this kind of syntax. Okay. Now what I want to, so here I want that if I click on disease button, I want to display here a window box in if you have used desktop type application, you must have seen that when we click on button, then we pop up a small window. So in web development I also want that part. So how to do that? You can find a thing by the name of model. Model will help you to pop up a small window in which you can display anything. And in Bootstrap you will see that models. So if I scroll down, just give me a second, this I want to pop up this thing, right?
So you have to copy this entire code, but I have already a code, so I can use that and I'll explain. So here what I can do, right after this part, I will add some HTML code. Now don't worry, you don't need to remember all this code. This is actually a code that I copied from Bootstrap, actually a model. Now in this you'll see a lot of classes, IDs, tab, index, so you don't need to remember all these parts. So we have a div, after that we have another div. This is the model dialog, this is the model content where you'll put the content, and this is the header part of the model, in which in h5 I added predicted disease. This entire model represent my predicted disease. Okay, and after that you have another div by the name of model body, in which in ginger template syntax I have printed my predicted disease. Now what will happen, I'll show. If I reload and go back and reload, and let me put couple of symptoms. This time let me add this symptoms, and if I click on this recommendation button, all this button, now here if I click on this disease button, now as you can see the ID is disease model. So you must copy this ID and go to the button database target and paste it right here. But before that you have to add hash disease model, mean when I click on this entire button I want to pop up this code. This is the simple definition of model. आसान भाषा में अगर कहूँ कि जैसे मैं इस बटन पे क्लिक करो, then I want to pop up this thing. Now this is the header part where I have written predicted disease, and this is my predicted disease. Let me show you. This is the header and this is printed disease. The same thing I want for all other button. So let's do that as. So that was the first model of disease one. This is the second model of description. I just copied the same model and paste, and just change in heading I just added description, and in the body I just printed D's description. Now this is coming right here, this one I'm printing this thing. Okay, we will explore this part a bit later. Let me close this one, I don't need it. And after that, now here the ID of this must be description model, or any, it could be any like ABC, whatever you want to give, but the same thing copy and paste it right here in the second button. And the same thing goes for all the other buttons, and I have for all the other like precaution model. After that we have this medication model, and keep in mind we will see this part a bit later. Here I use the loops in this model. In this model I use loop. In precaution model I use loop for I in my precaution. This should not be my precaution because I copied the previous code, so it should be this precaution. This precaution. Okay, because I want to print things on new lines. Okay, like we done exactly in the Jupyter notebook, right? And I also want the same thing in medication. So for medication I have a variable disease medication, so I'll copy this. I want to get one by one line from disease medication and print it, and I think I have done the same for workout. So just give me a second. Where is go to main.py and workout. We have one thing more. It was this part, so I have to add it as well. Dis dit will be equal to dit. Okay, this one actually. So after that, oops, not there. So I copied this description, precaution, medication. So I'll copy this dis dit. So this is the workout model, and where is the diets model? This is the diets model. Okay, so I'll copy here. For I in this diet, then print one by one each line in the model. Oops, again the last one is this workout. So let me check. I'm sorry, let me close this. edit. Give me a second. Template, let me open index.html and let me make it like this. So these died too, and after that we had someone workouts, so they should be these workout. Okay, all right, so I hope you get the main concept of this part. So here what is going on, from here, this is the input that we are getting from user in this part, and the moment we click on this recommendation button, we are going to pop up all this button, and the moment we click any one, we click on any one of this button, we are going to pop all this below models. So let's see if I go back and reload the page, and let's say I'm going to select itching, skin rash and cough. Fungal infection will be the disease. This is the fungal infection. This is the description of fungal infection. This is the precaution. Okay, the loop is not working here, I don't know why, but we will see. And this is the medication still are not printing that I wanted, but workouts are working. And in fungal died coconut. Okay, so it's working quite good, but here in precaution we are not printing things on new line, so we will figure that out. So if I go to my precaution wala model, where is the precaution wala model? This is the description, this is the precaution. So I have run a loop, but I think I didn't add here. If I add here a 0, then we will see these pre there is an error. I think the error was because of this thing. Yeah, so it's mean that I can't use directly here. If I go to precaution, they are still not working. So what I can do, I can we can, if I click on this, now here we have a list. Actually it's array, so the loop must have worked. So what I can do, I can if I go to main, can I make it if I run the same loop right here? Okay, this main part we will explain a bit later. There are a lot of things maybe you didn't understand, but we will see. I'm thinking actually that for precaution, as here at lastly I'm get the description, precaution, medication, diet, workout. So what if I run a loop here for I in pre at 0, because I want to remove the list actually. So this 0 actually means if I add a comment, this 0 means like this. In my list, I have a list, I have let's say Noor, this. So if I want to print just Noor, then I can simply add here a 0 like here, and after that I can here declare my pre an empty list that will contain so my pre dot append I. Yeah, now instead of passing this pre, I can update here pre to my pre. So now my pre should print. Let's see. Just if I go to precaution, okay, it worked. Medication, so we have to do the same for medication, but before doing that, what I can do, let me explain this code. So what is going on from index.html? Firstly, what we are getting input from form, symptoms from form. We are getting that symptoms within this predict. Okay, right here we are getting them. After that we are doing all the pre-processing like removing comma, splitting, strapping extra characters. So finally we get these user symptoms. So these are the clean symptoms, like we get itching and the two other one as I have shown in the input. After that I want to get the disease for that, so I just pass them to the get predict function, and this is right here, this function with these two dictionaries, and it will return me a disease, let's say fungal disease. And now I want to get all the recommendation for this predicted disease, so I want to pass them to another function, and this another function give me all the recommendation, this one, okay, helper. So it will return me four things, description of that predicted disease, precaution, medication, die, and workout. So after that I just want to send them to the index.html, and to want to send something from backend like results. If you want to send results and want to print on HTML file, then you have to use something like render template, that specific file name, and with these variables. This will be your defined variable, and this will be the exact that variable. Okay, so now you can print them as we printed. Okay, that was the flow. So if I show, let me check the recording. We done all things. So what we left, I think we left about wala part, contact wala part. So let's do that. So very simple. Now if I, let me close the index wala part, let me open about, blog, contact, and developer wala. So it's mean that in about we are going to add about the project that we have done this system, blah 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 blah. So very simple, div.container. Now here let's say h1 in h2 I want about control enter, not control enter, actually I want to go to new line, so shift enter, and after that in paragraph I want to write something like this. After that I want to add another heading like medicine system, and shift enter, and for that I want a paragraph, so like this. If I go to about and reload it, I think I should reload it first. Go to about, what was the page actually, it was the developer wala page, sorry, it was the developer. So I go to developer, as you can see this is right. So I have written them, that was the first, this one actually. So let me remove this one. So now what I can do, I have already written a lot of things, I'll just copy and paste. So let's do that. So I am in about, okay, because I have copied it from Bootstrap, sorry, not from Bootstrap, from my GitHub, the link I have shared. So in about I have a container, within container I have heading about us, then welcome to the medical health, where health meets technology for brighter health. After that another our vision heading, and for that I have give some explanation, then another heading who we are, then another explanation. So if I go to my about wala part, you will see these things. Okay, so you can change them according to your name, your things. So I will do for all the others, contact, developer, and blog. Okay, so let me first check the recording. Okay, now what I have done, I have copied all the previous code that I have already written. Now these are simple because this depends on you. I can't put your information here, just change these things accordingly. Okay, this is a developer section. In developer, just told about you, your profession, like you are a machine learning engineer, AI engineer, then the description part, all these things. Okay, in contact, add your email, phone number, your contacts, right? In blog, about the entire project. In about the entire project with extra things, so explore them. Okay, so let me show you. So finally we get this project. Now let me reload it. Now here if I add some symptoms, this is the patient symptoms, click on recommendation, it will give me all these things. This is the disease, this is the description,
Precautions, medication, we already explore. Workouts and diets. Okay, perfect. This is the about wala part, and this is the contact section. Okay, and this is the developer section, and this is the blog section. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you have any question related to this project, and if you want to add some more things to this project, that you can share your knowledge, your experience with me in the below comment section. And I hope that you have already subscribed this channel and liked this video and share with your friend. So use this project free forever. All the best. Thank you so much.